Oh, yes. Hopefully this fits over the hoodie. This is a nasty look, by the way.
This is
The hoodie with the jacket.
The hoodie blazer?
I don't know what's happening either.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm just as confused. Okay.
We're here.
Okay.
We're ready.
Okay. I'll tell
Ladies
it
and
after.
gentlemen of the court,
Yep.
distinguished guests, Alicia.
Yeah.
Today, we discuss the case
He's guilty.
of Mr. Kendrick Duckworth Lamar.
Is it really Duckworth?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of
Yeah.
here. Couldn't get
Today,
any
we
more
discuss the Super Bowl halftime show.
There you go. We got shit to discuss, okay?
We have to discuss. Yes, sir!
corny. Wow. He's so extra, you know.
Energy.
Who else but us?
Who else?
Hello.
Who else but us?
Who else?
Come on, man. It's the gang, man.
Hi.
You see the lineup? Look at me.
He's so happy.
Look at me.
Finally got it done.
Skinnier, younger, fresher. The pressure is getting
What?
worse. Uh-oh. The gang is back. You're here for Kendrick.
You are. You are.
They know why
We got
they're
some
here,
things
man.
to address.
We're not messing around this week. I'm Marlon.
I'm Alicia.
I'm Duke.
We're not wasting no time, man.
Nope, not a
You know
little.
what? I always wear something LA related when we have to talk about Kendrick.
That's a fact.
Hey, man, that's
a
God
fact.
talking through you.
Yeah.
God talking through you, man. Hold on. Let's get, you know.
Oh, yes. Hopefully this fits over the hoodie. This is a nasty look, by the way.
This is
The hoodie with the
The
jacket.
hoodie blazer?
I don't know what's happening either.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm just as confused.
I just look like JT03.
Oh my God.
No, you know who you look like?
Sexy
You look
Love?
like Becky Hammond, the coaches of the Aces. She always wears a
She?
hoodie, Becky Hammond.
You look like a bitch.
I look sweet. I look
She always wears a hoodie with a blazer,
Okay.
and she makes her staff do it as well. They all wear hoodies and blazers as well. That's like their uniform.
Papers?
I'll tell you shit about that.
I got a book.
I need
I
some.
see X-Men.
I need some papers.
Is that a collectible? Yo, you want to know what happened? You want to know a story? While you guys get prepared? Or no? About
I'm
collectibles?
prepared. I'm
Okay.
prepared. We're here.
Okay.
We're ready.
Okay. I'll tell it
Ladies and
after.
gentlemen of the court,
Yep.
distinguished guests, Alicia.
Yeah.
Today, we discuss the case
He's guilty.
of Mr. Kendrick Duckworth Lamar.
Is it really Duckworth?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Couldn't get
Today,
any
we
more
discuss the Super Bowl halftime show.
There you go. We got shit to discuss, okay?
We have to discuss if it was good or not.
The levels.
The levels or the lack thereof
Okay, we're not doing
will be discussed on this episode today, ladies and gentlemen.
You already know my stance.
Prosecution opens with this. The prosecution would like to open with love.
Okay.
I'd like to open with
Wait,
love.
so your defense?
He is defending Kendrick Duckworth Lamar.
Damn right.
Oh, wow.
I'd like to start off with love.
Okay.
I saw many saying this is the worst Super Bowl halftime show ever.
Your Honor, he's leading the jury. Keep going, though.
The jury needs to be led.
All right.
It was not the worst Super Bowl halftime show ever. It wasn't even close.
What was worse then?
Worse?
We'll get to that.
Worse was Dr. Dre. That
Really?
halftime show was
Worse
horrible.
was Black Eyed Peas.
Worse was Black Eyed Peas. Like, they were
worse-
talking. You know what I mean?
Black Eyed Peas was
Me and the
pretty bad.
defense could both agree there.
Yeah.
That this was not the worst halftime show.
Absolutely not.
We got Mr. Kendrick Lamar, who, for the most part, performed his GNX hits, right? And
Hits.
one would say that that's not what we're here for. That is not what we're here for. There's two things that I'd like to discuss today, and that is time, and that is place.
Okay.
Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Can I get an
Objection!
amen?
Objection! This is not a church. This is not a church.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Super Bowl has been known for legacy.
Yeah.
This is a place where we celebrate
Greats.
legacy.
Greatness.
What legacy does he have?
Damn.
I like to be stricken from the record. Now, when you got 14 minutes, I expect the best. We've had
the
Usher.
best of the best.
We've seen greats like Prince, Destiny Child reunions.
Yep.
We did.
Prince singing Purple Rain in the rain.
In the rain.
Couldn't have been any better.
Many say the rain was purple. That day, the rain was purple.
I think
I
it was
wasn't
just
there, I
the
didn't see it.
lights were purple everywhere, and it was a reflection on the
Once again, stricken from
rain.
the record. Now, I saw talks of a story
Okay.
that was told. And there was a story told.
Yes.
There was.
A great
we
story.
saw Samuel L. Jackson
We did. Uncle
as
Sam.
Uncle Sam.
Come on. I mean, my client's already killing at that point.
Because of Samuel L. Jackson.
Being Uncle Sam, a black Uncle Sam. You're not even deeping it. Keep going.
He didn't even say motherfucker.
At the Super Bowl?
We'll talk about things that can be said at the Super Bowl.
Okay.
He could have said mother.
Hey. You got it, brother. You got it.
This show was decent at best. And I say that because of, like I said, time and place.
Okay.
I love a good storyline. I love acts of when you use art to talk about the times that we're in, the socioeconomic state of the world,
Facts.
as one poet, Jaden Smith, said.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And I feel like this was not the time nor the place for those theatrics.
Wait
Now,
a minute.
I understand we had the first sitting president to ever attend a Super Bowl show there.
Which cost $20 million.
Yeah.
For him to attend?
And people were pissed off, allegedly.
God damn.
It cost $20 million for him to attend the damn Super Bowl, and people were pissed off because they're like, you left early. It cost $20 million that are obviously coming out of the backs of Americans.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was fucked up.
20 mil to
that was
transfer
fucked up.
Secret Service and a bunch of trucks.
Sheesh.
I know my cousin could do that for about 15 grand. That's crazy.
That's insane.
Where was I?
Yeah.
God damn.
Lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
Oh,
Time and
yes.
place.
Trump in the spot. Many say, oh my God, he did this in front of Trump. What a guy. The bravery.
I stand by it.
Does anyone in this courtroom think that Donald J. Trump understood that performance?
No. He
Does
said,
anyone
"Look at
here think
DUI."
that? I'll take it a step further. Does anyone here think that any white person watching and or who were in attendance, sitting by the way, I want to point that out.
I mean,
Do we think that they knew what the story was?
Only ones were the ones that were probably at home, that were daughters of white men that are probably racist, and they want to go against the cloak and they want to date black men or men
I don't
of
even think they
colors.
got it.
No, I've seen some of them. I've seen some of them. I've seen some of them talking about
We'll see.
it.
not gonna lie to you, even though it's my client, I didn't get the story. Keep going though.
Well, the story goes that Uncle Sam, played by Samuel L. Jackson,
Fire.
is representing America. And there are times where Kendrick uses his blackness to defy it. Like, I'm going to stand in my blackness and be everything that I am, which is black.
Yeah.
And embrace my
Blackity,
culture and my
black,
roots
black.
fully unapologetically.
Yeah.
Right? And then there were times where Samuel L. Jackson would say, hey, tighten up. And then he'd drop into more popular songs, less quote unquote threatening, softer,
Yeah.
some say.
Basically playing the game.
playing the game, which the stage was a PlayStation controller,
which I didn't even know.
which was fucking corny.
Oh, all right. Oh, come on.
I did not know.
Hearsay.
I did not know that it was a game controller until I seen videos afterwards explaining that it was a game controller.
Many people
Not in
thought
the
it was Squid
game.
Games too.
I thought that's exactly what I thought.
A lot of people, there have been breakdowns
Not
saying
tic-tac-toe.
both, that it was Squid Games and that it was. I lean on the controller, the PlayStation controller, just because of the signs in the audience saying "game over" and all these video game
True.
references,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
It's referencing the game.
The
you know?
game.
Did I
And
send you guys a video of it where somebody who worked on the set said it was the game controller?
Yeah, no, I saw it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, he basically he's going throughout and he's playing the game, quote unquote. Let me ask anyone: has anyone ever felt like Kendrick Lamar makes gangster music?
No,
Does he make?
I wouldn't know.
Does
Hold
he
on.
make?
Hold on.
Hold on, to the masses. We're not talking about, because this is the thing about Kendrick as well that I'd like to point out.
Okay.
He's a big if you know, you know guy. And it reminds
Strike the
me.
humming. Strike the humming. Keep going.
We will strike that record. I
IYK.
agree.
Yeah.
We find
Strike.
ourselves
YK.
in Black History Month right now, right? Who is Black History Month for?
Us.
It should be for the whites.
Two different answers.
Fubu.
Two different answers. Why do you say us?
I don't think we created it.
No, I was just saying that, guys. Sorry.
Do you believe Black History Month should be for us?
No, I think it should be for the masses. It should be for everyone. It should be to teach
It's to
people.
be-
I love
Teaching.
that you said that.
Yeah.
For the
I feel the
masses.
same way about this performance.
Should have been
It should,
for
it
the
should have
masses.
been teachable.
It should have been a teachable moment for the masses, not for the Black people who
The
know the
symbolism?
intricacies of the symbolism that's being used. I loved a lot of things about this performance. I loved a lot of things. I love that moment where he's standing at the corner under the light,
street light?
the street
Yeah,
light,
yeah.
and he's got the homies behind him. That
Yeah.
it kind of looks like, this is how I interpreted it, angels. I don't know if anybody else
He
got
might be on the team of the defense.
no.
We got him.
Like I said, I'll leave it with love. Like I didn't hate this performance.
I think it's tough to.
I
hate.
just expected way more and a
Same.
way different performance.
as a defense. Yes,
And I
100%.
don't think that my problem with Kendrick a lot of the times was reflected in this performance in empty symbolism. It's like, yeah, okay, cool. You put together a cool little storyline about Black injustice and reparations and whatnot. What's the action that comes from this?
Okay, so do you mean in that sense, like, what does he want people to do, or do you mean it more in the sense of
What's the call to
he
action?
wants us to interpret things? Like, he does that a lot. I'll give you that. That's a fact. Where he'll just do some shit, and then people be like, "Oh, you guys don't even understand," and there's no real confirmation of him saying, "This is exactly what I'm doing." Is that what you're saying?
I'm
If so,
saying
then I
that
agree.
in a sense, and I'm saying that also in not only what he does,
But what else? the
but
people
what
can
does what else do people do, and who does he want to do something? Because,
okay.
like I said, there's no white person that I know that watched that performance that took something away from it.
Maybe
They-
that it was kind of boring.
They watched it and said it was boring. Because why? They're expecting the hits. They're expecting high energy the entire time, especially because you're a rapper. Usher, we expect a nice and slow.
Do you think
we
those
expect
people-
a You Got It Bad? He's an R&B star.
Yeah.
You expect that, and those are some of his biggest
but
hits.
even still, he still did so many Usher did so many like uppity songs, right?
Exactly. And then
the
on
energy
top
flowing.
of that, with the storyline, cool. You got a storyline. There's a narrative. I'm with that. There's still music that is huge hits that you have that could have been inserted into the same storyline
That's where
that honestly would have fit it way better.
That's where I'm going to agree with you 100%. I, as a Kendrick fan, was disappointed in the song choices. Like, that to me, I'm like, that was the biggest letdown. Because
Yeah.
looking at it optically or visually, whatever, I'm like, oh, this is cool. Like, I'm getting excited. It's going to be more and more. And when it ended, I was like, oh, this is cool. But I'm like, I expected better choices. Why the fuck are you doing Man at the Garden? That to me was like, nah, there's no way. This is like, why?
Like, it was cool, a little cypher moment.
It
but
wasn't
like,
cool,
I
fam.
feel like there's another song you could have
was
done in that.
cool.
Like, I feel like if he did Yabish right there in front of that, on that street corner,
Yeah.
I think also because everyone is there for you to step and dance on Drake's grave,
Yeah.
you could have used your own older music to craft that narrative throughout. There's songs that people have thought were about Drake or thought were about somebody.
Okay.
Rigor Mortis is one song where he has lines on there that could allude to dissing Drake. Money Tree, like there's so many different songs that I feel like he could have used that have political statements in them and would have fit in that narrative while still poking at Drake. Since you're teasing it to the end, you could have teased it while talking about the political shit at the same time. Like, it just doesn't make sense.
I think you're trying to do too many things at the same time. I think this is a halftime performance, right? Make it entertaining. We know what it is with the Drake diss. Sure, Do Not Like Us. But besides that, make it entertaining. He shouldn't be doing deep cuts. Like, you should be doing the hits. So even playing Rigor Mortis, I'm like, I don't know, bro. I want to hear Mad City.
I don't even know what rigor mortis is.
So we know.
I want to hear Mad City. I want to hear the upbeat shit. I want to hear the shit that's like, okay, like everyone's going to be moving. Right? Because like even comparing him to Usher's not fair. Like Usher has fucking hits. And I think we had that conversation here where I said, I don't know if Kendrick has hits like that.
I
said that going into the...
He does.
He does. Like, but I'm talking about hits.
Like Rigor Mortis, you start off the set with Rigor Mortis. Those horns coming in. And then you're saying, I killed your favorite rapper. He dead.
That's for us though.
And then you got the whole. No, it's not, because if you're doing GNX, majority of people don't know GNX.
It just came out.
So
that's better than Rigor Mortis, because like, it is, bro.
Do we say that Kendrick has a big white audience?
People say that for concert.
He has a huge white audience. I've been to his shows. Majority of it's white people.
But they're not going to the Super Bowl.
Regardless, they're watching the Super Bowl. So if you have a huge white audience that knows your big hits,
they're gonna make it more of a moment
there's
online.
No reason, bro.
But they're not.
I'm telling you,
online. It's all perception. It's online. If they're hype about it and they're going and making these clips and reactions and all that other stuff, it's gonna look a lot bigger than what it actually is.
But then we're seeing the footage.
It doesn't matter about inside. How many footage are you really seeing?
We're seeing a lot of people saying
it wasn't jumping. But I don't.
No. But I don't put any credence into that, because we've spoken about this with even just Raptors.
Yeah.
The real fans are priced out. It's the Super Bowl. The
those
real
fans
fans that are going
for...
to shows and listening to your music on a daily are not in the building. I didn't expect the building to be jumping. And honestly, if you look at every halftime show performance, the audience never gives what it's supposed to give.
No.
It never does.
Okay.
That's why they pay those actors usually, which is something Kendrick was actually missing on this as well, because he wanted to craft this story, is the usual audience that's right at the stage jumping up and down, the paid actors.
No, they're not. They're actually not paid.
Oh.
So what they do is when people come in at the beginning, they give people wristbands and they'll be like, you can come down onto the field. So it's not paid at all. Those are like actual people who are
wild, because I'm watching old performances and they're jumping like they're getting paid to do it. I was like, there's no way this is real.
No, they get
That's insane. Wow. Okay, so I retract that. But regardless, I didn't expect the building to be jumping, but I do expect people at home to walk away from this performance like happy. Granted, everybody's not happy every single halftime
of course,
show.
There's always something to complain
There's
about.
always something to complain about. I just saw way more to complain about this year than I've seen in a long time. In a long time. They're seeing videos of just like your modern families at home that aren't really tapped in like that, like absolutely bored. And then you're seeing Black American homes turning the fuck up, having the time of their life. I don't think the Super Bowl is the time for that.
So which one is it then? Who do you want it to be? Who do you want it to perform for?
I think he could have gotten it off. Like, remember what I said? I think he could have still crafted the same storyline with bigger hits. You have songs. You've always been talking about socioeconomic problems in the hood. You've always been talking about social injustice. You have so many hits that speak on those things. Why not use those instead of Man at the Garden, Luther, even Peekaboo?
No, Luther should have been.
Peekaboo, I'm like,
whoa. Okay, come on. All right.
Cool. You popped up with the camera was there. That's the only part that I cared about.
Peekaboo was hard. First of all, Peekaboo is the hardest record on GNX. I've been saying that since it came out. That shit is hard, bro. And he did fucking AZ Check's verse. Are you kidding me?
So you're not biased?
No, not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. But also just looking at it, he went from one corner to the next, and then he popped up. Stop playing, bro. You weren't excited about that?
I just said that's the only part that was
Well,
exciting.
you said it with hate, though.
I didn't. I actually said it with love. I said that's the only part that I really enjoyed was him popping up at the camera. But other than that, it was like a very pointless portion of the entire thing. And then, then he teases not like us.
Rest, yo.
He teases not like us, right?
That was hard. I'm back. Yeah, that was hard. That shit was fun.
That was a new freestyle. He remixed. He didn't. That's not a part of any song.
What do you mean? When he was going into
The teasing before.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
When he's with the hey ladies and the hey Kenny or whatever.
Yeah.
And he teases it. I thought that part was corny.
Ah, come on.
Why'd you think it was corny?
Yeah, why'd you think it was corny? Thank you.
Just do it. Like don't talk. Oh, you know they love the suit. You're gonna do it.
I know, but
So what's this? So
You know what-
maybe I won't.
You know what
Like,
the-
fuck out
he's
here,
teasing
nigga.
the audience.
There's no tease.
Why-
Everybody's here because that's why you even got the Super Bowl.
And that's
There's
what's
no
like,
tease.
right now. Nope, not right yet. Like he's teasing
Fuck
us,
out
bro.
of here, man.
I like it. I really
Nobody watching was
Yeah.
like, yeah, not like us is coming on now, and then he's gonna do 5 more songs.
Everybody knew that was gonna be like the last one. pretty
Everyone
much.
on the planet.
I don't know if everyone knew it was gonna be the last one.
Nigga.
I said
No.
pretty much.
Nigga.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Okay. See, he's saying everyone did.
You don't
You're
think
wrong.
I'm saying
everyone
pretty
knew
much
that Not
the
Like Us
last
would be the
one. Like,
last
You
song?
guys aren't even agreeing.
I'm saying that
We got it. I
everybody.
won.
I feel like everybody knew that it was gonna pretty much be the last one.
Pretty
so
much,
it
okay.
wasn't the exact
Yeah.
last one, but it was.
It was
one
the
of
last
the
song.
last one.
No, it was the
TV
last
off.
song.
TV
Oh, yeah,
off came
TV
out.
Ah,
came
you're
on after.
wrong.
Yeah.
nigga.
You didn't even remember. You didn't even
He's
remember.
wrong. I just went through this shit.
TV
Case
off.
rest.
TV off came on.
Yeah.
And
And I understand because that one's really popular
Oh,
right
yeah.
now with the mustard.
Huge, yeah.
Euphoria.
But I'll say this
We skipped
also.
Euphoria.
I felt like he was counting his steps for the majority of the performance
Really?
before getting to Not Like Us. His energy level visibly got better. His diction was better. Even his mic sounded louder once he got to Not Like Us. Before that, you can see in his face some uncertainty. He's like looking at his next mark. He's the dancing. He's making sure he's hitting the right, like whatever at the right time. He
think
just
so.
looked like, I'm used to seeing Kendrick look so sure of himself at every turn. And he did not look sure of
was
himself
nervous?
for the first half of that performance.
I disagree.
I will say with his diction, I was like,
Yeah,
I
that, yeah. But that's
cannot
also live rap.
understand. I cannot
live
understand
raps
what
all
you
the
were
time.
saying.
With no backing track at all shows.
Yeah, but Pop Out, he also had a slip up, right? A couple. So it's like, this is going to
No,
happen
it's
when you're
not
like,
about slip up, but I
No,
just
but I'm
felt
just-
like he wasn't really saying anything. You know, he was just like whatever the beat was. He kind of just made noises.
I think it was audio. I think it was audio problems because I do think that they should have turned up his mic. Like his mic seemed so low at the start.
at some points, I feel like.
Majority of the first half of it, I felt like his mic was too low, and it just the energy and everything went up once Not Like Us started.
No, I think there was throughout it was. I think it started well, and then it went down for a little bit, and then it came back up. Because I remember when I was watching, I was impressed. I'm like, oh, his like breath control is good because he's walking around and he's still rapping, and I'm like, this is nice. But I think it also might have been an audio issue too.
Kendrick is in the LeBron category for me now because I hate his fans more than I hate him. And I don't hate Kendrick at all. It's his fans that make me dislike him because of what they do and attach to him. Like
They're really obsessive.
the fake revolutionary bullshit that I see online that like you guys acting like that you're about to get out and protest or riot. You're not doing nothing
How you know?
but discussing the song and the performance. That's it.
When was the last time you rioted?
I first of all for Palestine, I was outside.
Got
Where?
you.
What do you mean?
When?
Uh,
Where's the proof? Where's the video?
You think I was? First of all,
He did it from his heart.
exactly.
Yeah.
I was there. Come on, I was there, guys.
With
No,
what?
but like the thing with Kendrick that I don't like that his fans attach to him is this like political activist vibe when I haven't seen him take any real risk. You were in front of the president. We all knew that Trump was going to be in attendance at the game for 2 weeks.
He should have had
We knew
YG come
that-
out and play "Fuck Donald Trump."
He could have done something. He could have
Wait,
done
hold on.
something that really created history. I remember when Sinead O'Connor was on SNL doing a performance, and in the rehearsals, she held up this picture of like a baby, and they didn't know what
What
that
it
was
was.
about.
Yeah.
So there's like, okay, maybe somebody she knows or whatever. When the actual show came on, SNL's a live show. she held up a picture of the Pope instead at the end and ripped it up on live television and called out to all the kids that are being touched and molested and all these things under the Catholic Church. She got fucking torched.
Yeah, her career was cooked, right?
Torched.
Yeah.
Okay, her career wasn't cooked. She still made banger albums and had a long career. But just that year,
It was rough.
flamed. Like absolutely flamed. And she did that knowing the risk. She's on live television. You have the president in the building. And to me, he did nothing with any risk. With all this revolutionary talk of the storyline, and you did nothing that could really activate people.
Who's the last black person to do that? Kanye? And that was what?
Probably.
Kanye did it on SNL too, though.
I mean, that one's not the greatest.
That one was.
But I just more so mean the one like
planned.
Bush
He was
doesn't
just
care
like
about black
went
people.
crazy
That was schizophrenia.
about.
That was something else.
The Bush doesn't care about black people. That's the last one I think was good. But even besides that, it's like it's different times. Like who's really doing it? Like the fact that they're talking about Chapel Roan, about how that was the rebellious thing. Like look,
It was a rebellious thing.
I know, but look at how like how different it is, right? From ripping up a picture of the Pope to just saying like, "Yo, treat us equally."
Yeah, that's.
So it's like, is it?
I understand what you're saying, but
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that you still can't do it.
No, I don't mean you can't do it. I'm just saying like
Nobody's doing
you're
it,
that
but
brave.
if you're the guy that everyone's propping up as the person that can do it, do it. Like like I said, there's nothing that I feel like white America or white anybody took away from that performance and said, I'm going to be a better person, or I'm going to fight for black people,
What's gonna
or
make
I'm
him
going
do
to protest for reparations. He brought up 40 acres and a mule and talk, he's like saying all these things like, oh, it's about to be different. Why and how? It's empty symbolism to me. And I'm tired of all of us black people being okay with this bare minimum fucking acts of whatever, and then it leads to nowhere. Nigga, you are doing this under the NFL.
wait,
The racist ass NFL.
This is where it gets
you
kinda
are doing
crazy.
this with the empty symbolism of Jay-Z, who was
Yeah.
brought there to clean up their image and has done nothing actually within the NFL to change anything that happened to Cap.
Why are we attacking Kendrick and not the people that are not wanting to change?
Because Kendrick's the one that did the performance, and Kendrick's the one that people are propping up as that guy
Yeah.
to do that. And he's not doing that. He's giving you a song and dance, and
Yeah.
y'all do it. And
But-
nobody's doing anything. And we do this all the time. We have so many different moments like this where we get something that's super empowering. We feel good about it. And the artist does nothing. They just made the thing, and then that's it. And then we just eat it up and do nothing else after that.
Wasn't that like that woman that went head to head with J. Cole about
No
the
name.
reading
No
the
name.
books? It's kind of like the same thing because they're like, oh, you claim that you do this, this, and this, but what was the last book that you read? What was the last this, and this?
And then they have the scapegoat of coming on to a track and saying, "I'm not your savior." Stop acting like it. Like you put a crown on your head, dress like the savior, and then you're telling people, "I'm not your savior."
That's not
And
me.
you act like you are people's savior. It's contradictory to me. You can't act like you're here to awaken something in
Yeah.
people's minds and then fall back. You can't blame me if it doesn't work. Nah.
I still don't. I get the sentiment, but I still think it's wrong to fight them and not the actual problem. You know what I mean?
No, we're fighting the problem every day. My point is,
Yeah.
don't prop him up as the symbol of change if he's not doing any actionable things to actually elicit that change.
Do you think that Colin Kaepernick has done more and should
Absolutely.
be propped up more than Kendrick Lamar?
Absolutely, but
What are we basing
it's
this
a
on?
trend. It's a trendy
On-
thing, right?
Helping
His
like
community and,
actual
like, where he's
black
from?
people.
Well, I don't know. I haven't done my research on like what he's done to Compton.
He
or
lost
anything
his
else.
He's done
career
a lot. He's
to
done a
smooth-
lot.
No, not Cap. Not Cap. I'm talking about Kendrick.
Oh.
No, that's, we don't.
Of course I know about Cap. Like,
No,
what?
no,
That's
we
crazy.
don't. But that's what I'm
a
saying.
wild
We
hill
don't
to die
know.
on.
If even if he has done things,
Yeah.
we don't know.
And I mean,
And so
not
you're saying that you
everything.
wanna know.
Not everything needs to be known. It's the same with like the Beyonce stuff, where people are like, "Oh, she doesn't do this, this, and this."
Yeah.
People do know, maybe not like the masses, but you have to have some type of like proof of something. How can somebody you know, get involved. Teach the people how to get involved. Teach the people how to stand up.
Until I see him make actual
don't-
tangible sacrifice, I'm not gonna put him where others are putting him. That's all it is. I need to see actual sacrifice if you are going to preach these things, and if you're gonna allow people to put you on this pedestal. Because it's not like he doesn't feed into it. It's like it would be different if he was like, "Bro, guys, I'm not that. Don't put me in that."
Yeah.
I'll even change my music so you guys don't think it's... No, he's constantly feeding into the narrative. And leading off the show with the revolution will be televised. You picked the right guy, but the wrong time. Why?
That's his bag.
But why? Why did we pick the wrong guy? I mean, the right time, the wrong, right, was it? The wrong guy, the right time? Or the right time, the wrong guy, wrong
guy, right time.
Right guy, wrong time? Yeah. Right guy, but the wrong time. That was what it was.
Wrong guy, right time.
Whatever. But regardless.
I
why
get,
you, like, these are empty threats.
I get your sentiment. I'm not on that side, though, just in terms of, like, I don't need to see how much you donated to charity to be like, you actually care about
That's
your
not
But
what
I
I'm
don't
talking
think
about.
I don't
It
think
sounds
it
a
has
little
to
bit
be
like that,
I'm
though.
sorry
financial.
if it does
And
come off
that's
that
kinda
way.
why I'm
That's
like,
not what I'm saying.
yeah.
It's more of like, what have you sacrificed for the betterment of Black people? Since you are constantly speaking on the betterment of Black people.
That's a better question. Yeah, as a Compton
get that.
representative.
And it's not like I want you to see you handing sandwiches to homeless people. I just need to see that you are practicing what you preach.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's empty symbolism to me. And I feel like more people would do more things if they saw you doing the things.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, the biggest risk of that show was a dancer who pulled out the Palestinian and the Sudan flag.
I did see that.
'Cause
Shout out
then
to
he
them.
got-
That's real activism.
He's
That's
lifetime banned from every NFL event and stadium.
sacrifice.
Damn.
And he did that knowing that would happen.
He knew something, like, obviously.
Like, he literally pulled it out and a woman tried to grab him before he even jumped off the stage. And then he started just sprinting and going in circles. And he became one of the biggest stories of the Super Bowl. And now people who don't know about Sudan, don't know about Gaza, they're going to go look into that. And
Like,
who
why
knows
is
what
this
they
a
do.
moment? Why are people talking about it? Why is this?
Why is this
flag
such a
running
big
up?
thing to happen
Why
at the
is
Super
somebody
Bowl?
trying
Yeah.
to, like, take them down?
I did look up to see if he has like a foundation or anything. He doesn't, from like just quick Google search, but he does contribute like the pop out show, or no, that thing that he had during Christmas.
He's done, listen,
Like,
That's a
he's
TD
done
Christmas
charitable.
party, right?
I think
Yeah,
so.
they do the
concert.
Christmas
That's
event.
Like they
like,
do
TD
give
though.
back.
it's an
but-
annual thing, yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not saying he hasn't
He
done
probably
anything
has
in
because
that
it's a
sense.
write-off.
But
Come on, that's crazy. It's not, you know what I mean? Like,
Let's be real though.
I know, but that's
that's
you're
rich
rich-
people in general.
you're right. But that's tough because like now you're doing it and
See,
you're
but
still.
people are
I
gonna
just thought-
say who does it based on how they think of the person. Drake does it,
Yeah.
it's a write-off. Kendrick does it, he cares about Black people.
No, the thing about me is I'm saying it's wrong on either side for you to even think that. Like you can't attack him like you don't do anything and then you finally do it like okay you only do it for a write-off.
But you can attack them for the intention, regardless of the impact. You can get at people for their intention.
I think if you're the same person attacking them for not doing the act of charity, and then when they do it, you're still criticizing them. You're a fucking mosquito. Shut up. Like that's at that point. It's
Yeah.
like you know what I mean.
Yeah,
What do you
no.
want
I
from
feel
me?
like-
damned if you do, damned if you
Exactly.
don't.
I feel like you're a longevity though. So if you go, you get attacked, you do it, and then you just stop, then it's like, what was the point of you
Yeah,
doing it?
yeah.
You're just doing it now for the
That's a
act
fact.
of
Yeah, people definitely
whatever,
do that, for
and
sure.
you know it's a facade. If
Yeah.
you were like, okay, I'm gonna do this now for the rest of my career, right? Or at least I'm gonna do it for the next 10 years. Then it's like, okay, at least you cared a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
So it's even like with these DEI things, everybody backing out the second that Trump said, get rid of it. If you're true to it, you would be like, no, we're sticking.
Apple.
So Apple said it, NFL said, we're sticking with the DEI stuff. Like all these other companies that's like, nah, we're going to stick on it. We're standing on, we don't care what the president says because we do believe that this helps. Target, Meta, whatever, they're just doing it for the looks because we had a uproar. And the second that they came back out, they're like, all right, cool, let me clean my hands of it.
Facts.
That is the type of stuff that you need to get checked on.
Facts. Yeah.
So you might not have done something, you did it, but then you stopped at your earliest convenience. That's some BS.
Yeah, that's called window dressing.
Window dressing?
Yeah. I
Interesting.
discovered that term in 2020, like when a bunch of these companies started doing like DEI stuff, and it's like it's really just for optics.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And I'm not saying that he should have like burned fucking Trump in
American flag
effigy or something. Like, I'm not saying that, but you have the mic. We're all watching you. There's something you can say that will elicit some sort of response.
Should have got YG on there.
Yeah,
That would have been amazing.
Fuck Donald Trump.
But even like a Palestine shout out, something.
You know what?
It takes 1 second. It's not something that needs to disrupt the entire performance and your story.
As Palestine, especially because he said that the America wants to buy it over or whatever and rebuild it. He wants to buy
The president is there, bro. Listen, we gotta stop the he's Tupac shit. We gotta stop the he's Tupac shit. Tupac
probably would
ain't
have ran
letting
up on
that
him.
moment slide, my nigga.
Yeah.
Tupac gonna walk up the stadium stairs, past the audience, doing hit him up right to the box. Like Tupac, I'm tired of that comparison because like Tupac really said some shit.
Yes.
Tupac took every opportunity in an interview to say some shit.
Yeah.
And that's real sacrifice because
Or like
he
Kehlani.
didn't care. Kehlani even.
She's doing beer sacrifices right now. When she started talking about Palestine, a lot of the people
went
that she was
crazy.
When everything
supposed to,
started,
she did the video with it, and then
And
people,
she's still doing stuff.
Yeah, people stopped wanting to collab with her.
Yeah.
The producers and the artists just ghosted her. She did the video. She commissioned for all of the merch for Palestinians. They were the ones that created it, and she sold it, and that money went back to Palestine. She just did a show somewhere in the Middle East as well for Palestine.
She did her music video with the keffiyeh on. That represents Palestine. Wow. She has went above and beyond. She even just went to Dubai. People are getting at her for going to Dubai. Like, oh, didn't you just speak out against corruption and blah, blah, blah. She was there to support a Palestinian brand. So it's like, and this is, mind you, at the height of her career.
Yeah.
She's got the most Grammy nominations she's ever gotten. Shit don't stop just because you take a stand for something. And I think everyone's trying to protect their position and their money and their opportunities.
Yeah.
And so they don't want to do anything. But that's real activism to me. Real sacrifice.
So James was just saying, he was like, do you think that if he was Kendrick Lamar to mention things about Palestine, wouldn't that take away of his real message of like black plight?
No. It takes 1 second. You could have ended, turn the TV off. Free Palestine. Do it at the very end of your set. You can do it at the start of the set. Regardless, you're still doing your set. All you got to do is say one thing. And that one thing is in the newspapers everywhere the next day. Then people read it. Why is he so gung-ho about? They look into it. That's how these things work.
But isn't it like, I feel with his fans are for the culture, the black culture. That's everything that they've been, that's all that they've been preaching since this, is that nobody else is feeding the black culture like that. So I do understand where James is saying, if he does bring up Palestine, then it's like, okay, you're going on to something else. Like, why aren't you?
Yeah,
I think we can focus on more than one thing.
I would rather you just focus. Maybe
no, but it's also like it's like a BIPOC thing. You know what I mean?
Maybe if he
like
did,
even like when that came out.
I don't understand that. I feel like we're all watching a genocide. I feel like even if you could, like I said, you can do the entire story. You can do the whole set as it was, and just add Free Palestine. It's just one thing you can do.
And we get that, and I think that also just because of like your closeness to Palestinians,
It has nothing to do with that.
I feel like that's why you would.
It has nothing to do with that. He could pick something else.
If he went and said, I would rather him be like Free Congo or something, I would be like, okay, I understand.
Any of those, listen, I'm just using Palestine as an example. Like, it's the biggest example. It's the most common one right now. I'm just using it as an example. It could be anything.
But that's why what James and I guess me are trying to say is that if he is all about black culture and the things that are happening in black America, in America in general, since it is polarizing, they have their own version of mess. What could he have done instead to actually focus on their problems right now?
They would know. I'm not black American.
Oh, okay. Got it.
I'm not going to speak on that before the FBA come in the comments, start calling me all types of monkey.
I
and
mean,
shit.
they're obviously going to do that.
Like, I don't know.
Like this was an FBA performance to me.
He said it.
What's FBA?
This was an FBA for Foundational Black Americans.
Oh,
This was a performance for the FBA. Like,
got you.
there's still, I feel like there's still some traces of xenophobia in this performance in terms of the narrative when it comes to Drake and the They Not Like Us. The whole focus on the storyline was Black America. And then you end it with Not Like Us and turn his TV off.
Yeah.
What else am I supposed to take away from that? If you do an entire performance about Black America and then you go, you're not like us, and you're talking to one person, turn his TV off.
No, it's a xenophobic record. Like there's no denying that. You know.
It is what it is. It's like, and I wasn't thoroughly impressed by the way he told the story. I thought it could have been a little bit better, but for what it was like I said, it was a decent performance.
Yeah.
I'm not putting it as one of the greatest.
No, I don't think so. I don't think anyone's saying that. I don't think even Kendrick fans. I don't think they're gonna say it's one of the greatest.
As the defense and a Kendrick fan, what do you think was very memorable about it?
Sam Jackson, Peekaboo for me because that's a personal favorite. Yeah, I think it was really just that.
Thank God. Oh, okay, because I thought he was gonna say Serena Williams.
Oh no.
Let's talk about Serena Williams crip walking. I want her husband in jail.
Damn.
Why her husband?
I want him in jail. He's the reason this is happening.
Oh no.
And it might low-key be Serena. It might low-key be Serena. Because let's go on a little history lesson.
Okay, let's do that.
Common and Serena Williams were together. Serena Williams leaves Common for Drake. Beef ensues, verses are exchanged back and forth because of who? Serena Williams. Serena Williams marries Homeboy.
CEO of Reddit.
He starts liking shady tweets about Drake.
He starts straight up subbing him.
Subbing him on Twitter and liking shady tweets.
I could never do
with
that.
no anything from Drake yet.
So embarrassing.
Using Reddit.
Okay? And then Drake, obviously, his OV hoes, they send
OVOs.
the OV hoes, they send him the information. And he sees, okay, cool. Sends him a sub. Not even sends him a sub. Directs him. Gives him a direct bar. Hey, Serena, your man's a goofy.
Tough.
Straight up.
Yeah.
No mincing words, no tippy toeing around it. And they start having their subbing back and forth, whatever. Serena, you're her husband.
Oh God.
Serena comes home.
Yeah.
You're at home with the kids. You $2 billion up.
Yeah.
You created
each
Reddit.
baby in a hand. Yeah.
You rich. Life is beautiful.
That's good, babe.
You are dating the greatest female athlete
Yeah.
Maybe one
in
of
the
the
history of
greatest.
sports.
Period.
That's a fact.
One of the greatest athletes.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Gender is not even a thing.
She's definitely
one of
top
the
three.
greatest athletes of all time. We saw her win a championship pregnant.
That's crazy.
Right,
Yeah.
man.
She is one of the greatest of all time.
LeBron
Women
could
can
never.
do anything. Yeah,
She looks at
physically,
you
no.
and says,
Mentally,
hey.
probably not.
She looks at you and says, hey, Kendrick wants me to do the Super Bowl halftime show, do a little crip walk.
I'm dropping the babies. There's
Oh,
no way.
crip walk?
No,
That's
bro.
dope. Because you weren't allowed to do the crip walk
I
at the
would love
Wimbledon
it.
thing, and they got at you about this. This is dope. Yeah, he wants me to do it like during the Drake song. How you feel about that?
Why are you saying his name? No, man. This is so nasty. Like the obsession with Drake.
Bro.
You're married, bro. But then again, both of them are kind of goofy for doing
Married
that.
and billionaires.
Like, there's no way
Married
my
and
wife could be
billionaires.
talking about.
Bro,
like, that's-
my girl told me she's going to go rehearsal for the crip walk. Did you guys see the video?
There's a rehearsal video.
It was choreographed.
Stop.
Yes.
I'm not even joking. There's a video of her going multiple days. Not just
Embarrassing.
Just to do
multiple
her,
days for the crip walk.
Was it even 30 seconds? 15 seconds?
No,
It was like
but
a good
10.
good
It was
four.
a good 8.
A good 4 seconds.
It's good 8
Got you.
seconds.
Yeah.
Love Serena.
Yeah, she's great. But
We also gotta talk about Kendrick's obsession with Drake.
Drake's
Yeah,
women.
We gotta talk about
Because if the shoe was on the other foot,
they're obsessed with each other.
it would look very weird,
They're
bro.
obsessed with each
They
other.
go together.
If Drake was hoarding and working with all of Kendrick's exes, it would look weird. Kendrick worked with Rihanna, SZA. Georgia Smith was in the PG Lang trailer, wasn't she?
Yes, yes, she was.
Why?
Yes.
Thank you. Why?
I mean, she looks great. I mean, that's the vibe. You know what I mean? Like, we're going
Dog.
for aesthetics here.
That's fine.
You got Serena on the Super Bowl. Listen,
SZA.
Serena is one of my goats, man. Bro, if somebody made Kobe Bryant go up there and Harlem Shake,
That's you'd cry.
I'd be throwing up.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
That's nasty work, man.
It is,
Why
man.
would bro? She's a legend. You
Yeah.
have her up there as a prop.
Yeah. And she went for it too.
That shit made me sick, bro. That shit made me, and I don't care. I'm not losing the misogyny part of me that does not want my wife up there dancing for her ex.
Talk about it.
I'm sorry. I'm in the fucking misogyny bag when it comes to that, man. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Go to him. Go be with him.
Yeah, exactly. Have fun with him.
What are we doing here?
You're married, bro. Like,
Oh.
Maybe she was trying to erase that other video she has of her
I was
dancing.
just
that's
about
the
to
other
bring that
thing.
up. Like,
You
yo,
cannot
Drake's
crip walk
condo.
on me. We gotta at some point we gotta talk about women and their version of revenge.
Oh,
it
shit.
sucks.
oh shit.
Yeah.
Shit women
Oh,
do
shit.
that think they get back at us.
Ah,
We are laughing at
I
you.
fucked him because I hate him.
We are laughing at you.
You showed me.
You're wild.
Oh,
Bro, in what world am I seeing my ex crip walk at the Super Bowl halftime show
Bro.
and being like, gosh darn it,
Just
I
holding your
really
head.
lost this one.
Ah, she's doing it so well. Like,
Bruh.
I'm not giving a fuck, bro.
I'd be like so happy I dodged that bullet,
But you
bro.
don't- but-
That's bird behavior.
But-
I don't care who you are.
Drake's a little
Bird
emotional.
behavior.
Yeah.
No, sure.
So you
But I
don't think
he's
that would hurt
emotional
him a
about
bit?
that. No. No.
You can't. That video of her
No.
dancing.
Listen,
can't-
you want to know how I think it would have been better?
What?
Serena sitting in a throne on the stage, and Kendrick does that line
Of
About
whatever.
Serena. from the song.
What's the line?
Niggas better not speak on Serena or something like that. Was it line in Not Like Us?
Something like that.
He had a line about niggas better not speak down on Serena or something like that.
I don't remember that part.
Can't remember what the line is.
Yeah, it's something like that though. Yeah.
It's at the same time he's talking about DeMar DeRozan and Compton and everything.
Got you.
Let me
Like,
see.
just have her there in her reverence. Like,
Yeah, that would
who
sting a
she
bit.
is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
bro, I don't mind that she's a part of the performance. I get what it's supposed to do, but don't have her up there dancing, bro.
well,
And people acting
technically-
like the Crip Walk. It was some sort of like what?
It's a-
Revenge on the tennis world. Nobody gives a fuck
Yeah,
about that shit,
it
man.
was
She
nasty
went
to
on
see.
afterwards and was like, I couldn't crip walk that hard at Wimbledon.
She did. What are we talking about? Yes, you could. Who's gonna stop you?
It's not a
This is what I'm
Crip
talking about. Empty symbolism. They're bullshitting you.
not
She could do the Crip Walk anytime she wanted to,
well, she did do it.
and she did.
And she did.
So what are
That's
we?
why
Why
she-
are we
but
acting like
that's why-
somebody has some sort of fucking handcuffs on you?
That is why I feel like she did the crip walk again. It's
Well,
like
no, yeah.
one, include it,
Yeah,
and two,
yeah, yeah.
because that's what she went viral for, and then
I
to
get-
show,
I
I
get
guess,
it.
a better dance move than
just-
the other one.
Better dance move. The shit was
Yeah.
weak, bro. Both of them are weak.
And
Like,
you
I
had to
don't
go
like
to choreography multiple days.
don't like
to learn how to do it for 4
that,
seconds.
and it's not even a fucking Crip walk, bro. It's just
And
some weird.
then-
It's not even the Crip Walk.
And
some
now
hoppity
people, are pulling up that
sister
her
story.
sister went and got killed. Not went and got killed. Was killed. Stop it.
Why are we laughing? Why are we laughing? Why are we laughing? Oh my God. We're going to jail. We're going to jail.
Not went and got
We're
killed.
going to jail. We're going to jail.
She was killed by a alleged Crip gang member.
Oh, it wasn't a legend. It was a Crip gang member. It was a drive-by.
Damn.
But I don't put any stock into that either. I think that's a really dumb excuse
To-
to put that on her. Like, you're reaching at that point, nigga. Y'all, the same people saying that wear crucifixes. What are we talking about
Oh
here?
shit. Talk about it.
Y'all wear niggas' death on you every day. What are we talking about here, man?
That's wild.
Yeah, that shit doesn't make no sense.
Did
to
you
me.
see the meme where they put Serena Williams back in the day, and then Serena Williams more recently when she was looking a little light, and
Oh,
they
yeah, she been bleaching
put
for sure.
Drake's lyrics. Michael was praying his features would change, so people believe that he's actually white.
Nah, reach.
What song is that from?
Family Matters.
Reach. That was it's the line for Kendrick working with Taylor Swift and them,
Ah, yeah.
and working with white people
Yeah.
all the time to get hits. Yeah, no, that's a reach. To attach that to Serena is wild. That's super wild.
They have been
gonna
saying
speak down
recently
on the
though
GOAT,
that she
man.
was. They're trying to say that she was bleaching.
I believe she is. Just based
I think a lot
on
of celebrities do.
watching her over the years,
Well,
she's noticeably lighter. I
But
don't
to
know
be
if it's
fair,
just, like,
she hasn't been playing outside as much because she doesn't play tennis anymore. You know.
touche.
Yeah. you don't know how the sun works.
I know exactly how it works. I know the sun. The good old sun excuse. It's winter.
We do have to talk about Ak leaking the set list,
Yes.
Oh, and he was drunk out of his mind.
and
talking
it
about
was on point.
Yeah.
It was like literally the same thing.
I didn't
same.
I'm happy I didn't see the set list before. I would've
It
been-
was. I didn't see it until Kev sent it to me near the end of the performance.
No, wasn't it before?
It was
I
out
saw
before.
It, like,
It was out
earlier.
Oh no,
Before.
it was out before. I'm saying I never saw it until
okay.
Kev
Got
sent
you.
it like right after. No, it was like the performance was like about to end. It was it was
Yeah.
right before Not Like Us, and I was like, oh, Not Like Us is next, and it was next, and I was like, oh shit, this set list is on point.
Yeah.
And I looked at the rest, and I'm like, wow, everything has happened exactly how it said.
Yeah.
And it's so funny watching the JVP cut this shit the fuck up
Before.
before this
He's like,
happened.
if he plays Man of the Garden, I'm turning off my TV.
I was completely in
off.
agreement, and I'm still in agreement.
Yeah,
I was
no, I'm with
complete.
you.
I don't think they got it wrong.
Yeah.
I don't think you look at this set list and you're like, no,
Yeah, because why?
no.
Because why?
And it's like it obviously it makes a lot more sense now that we've seen the storyline. But I still feel like I said there are a lot of songs that could have
Yeah.
been played in replacement of some of those songs. And the Super Bowl, like that's an award show performance to me. That's something I want to
think
see at
so?
an award show. I don't want to see that at the Super Bowl. Not everyday trauma.
That.
I want no, like this is what I'm saying with time and place. We're all here watching the Super Bowl. Super Bowl Sunday, something people have been looking forward to for how
You
many
wanna
weeks?
get hyped.
You want to be hyped. You want to have a good time. You're with your family and
You want to
friends.
sing. You want to rap. You want to like.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like you
Turn
want
up,
to, you want to
or-
celebrate, and like I really feel like he missed the mark in terms of the masses. Like for Black Americans, I'm sure that was Christmas Day. It was an amazing time, and I love a lot of those songs off GNX. I just don't want to hear them at the Super Bowl. I just don't. Escapism is a thing. I'm not here to think about my problems right now.
But-
I want to watch the game,
That's Kendrick.
drink, and fuck around, and that's it.
But
I
maybe-
don't want to think
Then
about
don't
problems.
get Kendrick.
This is what we said, nigga.
Full circle moment.
This is what. Thank you. I'm so
From the
happy you
jump?
said that.
Wait,
From the
what?
jump.
This is what we said from the jump when
When
they
we
got
found out that Kendrick, we were like, why?
Oh, I think I said the same
Because
thing
you
then, huh?
want somebody fun, like I don't know, Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne is a terrible performer.
6 foot, 7 foot would have been popping.
I don't.
Yeah,
I-
if
I
you
think-
remember the
I think
lyrics.
He has so many
6,
songs.
7
That's some
foot, 8
bullshit.
foot,
He
9.
has so many
What?
songs that
That's
white
some
people
bullshit excuse that they jump
know
to, man.
that are
What?
from 20 years ago that would have the older folks who were in the building,
Yeah.
who were sitting there, who would be hyped.
You guys would have had a blast, but have you seen any Wayne performances?
I have.
And what are they? Are they good?
Yes.
So the videos I saw lied to me.
And some of them are bad. We're not gonna say that all performances
The
are
majority
amazing.
of them, are they good? Like the
majority
recent
of them,
ones?
yes.
Yes.
Yes, the majority
There's
of them are
no
good.
way, bro.
Yes.
Yes. It's a 13-minute performance. The fact that you guys think he can't memorize 13 minutes of lyrics after rehearsing them for hours on end, days in advance, weeks in advance, is asinine. It's
that would
crazy
be-
to
I don't
me.
think
And
it's
that would be
crazy.
a really
13
big.
minutes.
That would have been a really big moment for him because it's also his city. So I feel like he would purposely put more effort into it.
That's what he should
And
do,
then
yeah.
on top of that, he has all these other connections. And Nicki Minaj has gone on every single stage and said, whatever Wayne wants, Wayne gets. So now you're getting Nicki Minaj at the Super Bowl to come and pop out. Drake, maybe.
Tyga.
Best
Hyde was in there. He would
best
have
case
been
scenario
from upstairs on
would
the
have been
stage.
incredible. Best case scenario. The
I
videos that I
also-
saw recently worried me. That's what I'm saying.
I also think that we put a lot into this whole Wayne forgetting lyrics thing and not remember that first, he was heavily on drugs at the time.
Yeah.
Second, it's not like
Then he
he's
was having
forgetting his
strokes.
biggest songs. He's forgetting niche songs. Like he's put so much music
Mixtapes.
out that it's almost unrealistic to think that he could memorize all those songs since he was 15 years old.
Marlon, that's his job.
No, it's not
so many
necessarily. It's
people
his
who-
job,
His job is to
and not
perform.
everybody does their job.
No, I get it.
A1 all the time.
I know, but if
Not
you're gonna
everybody's
be at that
Beyonce.
scale, of course, exactly, right?
Even Beyonce's had her flumbles.
We
and,
don't
her,
remember.
and at the Super Bowl, at that.
Really?
When
Yes.
but when she fumbles, she figures out a way
Exactly.
to like
She dropped
keep it
at the
go.
Super Bowl and
She
hopped
dropped?
back up.
Yeah, she fell. She even fell.
She
at,
fell backwards and hopped back up, played it off.
She's goated.
Even
I don't remember
at
it.
even at homecoming, she went and she fell. It was her and her sister Solange, and they were doing
Yeah.
something, and they fell.
Yeah.
And they turned it around so that they went on their backs and they kicked it and whatever, and it made
I
it
think I
look like it
remember
was
that.
actually
You see, those
a
are- that's-
part
that's
of. But that's
Next
because
level performing.
that's a different performer.
Yeah.
My halftime show was on Christmas Day.
I get that. I get that. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I gave this performance a 7 out of 10.
That's really fair.
That
And
was
I'm
very,
fair.
nice.
I don't think. I
That's
don't
actually
think,
very fair.
Like I said, my only problem is the set list, bro.
That's exactly what I said
My
too.
only problem is
Song
the set
choices
list.
were not great.
I critiquing the
visuals, sure.
and the storyline and what it does is another thing.
Yeah.
But in terms of the performance,
But-
I think it was a solid performance. I just didn't like that I saw him counting his steps.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like the uncertainty in his movements at times.
Okay.
I didn't like the audio issues,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't like the song choices. That's it. And I think other than that, he knocked it out the park. Like the Not Like Us moment was crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so
was.
then what was say you were to give 10, right? Because you just said there's 4 things.
Yeah.
No, you said you give him a 7.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I would give it, even though I don't really care, I'd be like, okay, I could understand a 6, right? Because I felt like it was almost 50-50.
7 is always a safe number out of 10. So if I were to lean either way, I would lean more to a 6.5. If I was gonna lean any way,
It's
but
7.5. Okay.
yeah, as opposed to that way. But yeah, like I said, it's just if he had done the hits, and a lot of people are like, oh, the people who hating on this performance would have hated on it regardless. No, I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think if he
Mo
really
would've.
performed it,
As somebody
The
who has never seen him like perform for real, if he would have came with his absolute best foot forward, then I'd be like, okay, I can understand why people like it. But now I was sitting there and I'm like,
and I was kind of insulted that,
kind of-
that this was it was weaving into a storyline, but really was a commercial for his tour.
well, that's what
I think
that's what
it's
the
a little
week
bit of
that's what
bring
the
out-
weekend did for the Grammys too.
Yeah, 100%. But I think it was.
But
a
he
bit-
did his hits. That's the difference. He didn't do his recent album.
He didn't? I thought he did.
He didn't just do his recent. He did songs from it,
like
but he did the hits. Whereas this one was majority GNX. What did we get? Humble, DNA, All the Stars.
I don't think it was majority GNX.
What? Humble, DNA, All the Stars versus Squabble, Peekaboo, Luther.
I can pull it up.
Not Like Us, TV Off, Man at the Garden. That's
Oh shit, I forgot. Yeah.
it's a commercial for the tour, bro.
Yeah.
And then brought SZA, and SZA only did the 2 songs that they're collabed on, right?
Did Luther and they did All the Stars.
Your favorite song? Yeah.
Fucking hate that song. God, I hate that song. I would have rather him brought Rihanna and did Loyalty.
Oh my God! Yes.
Like, what are we talking about here? Bring out Janet Jackson. Do Poetic Justice.
That's crazy.
Give Janet Jackson
You're
her.
not pulling out Janet.
We're talking about reclaiming things
Poetic
with
Justice
Serena
would've
and
been
the
great.
Crip Walk. You bring out Janet Jackson
Actually,
to
that
the
was-
Super
Person that
Bowl's
was banned
beige.
from it
That would have been crazy.
Come
for
on.
something she didn't do.
That should have been. What was the surprise then?
What's bigger? What's bigger? Bringing
Nothing.
Janet back
SZA?
out or Serena Williams Crip walking?
Bro, what? That's not even a question,
Thank
bro.
you.
That's not a
But
question.
you see what I'm saying? That
Yeah.
there's too focused on Drake, bro.
I pulled it
Too
up.
focused on Drake, my nigga. And no one's gonna admit it. But he made this too much about Drake. And that is his downfall. It's just like when Drake made it too much about Rick Ross and ASAP and all these other guys instead of just focusing on Kendrick.
That's what I was saying.
But this is the same thing. And he's putting himself into a position where people are just gonna keep comparing him to Drake at all times. And I don't think that's what he wants in his career. He seems like a very standalone guy. I want to be judged based off the merit of my own success.
Right.
So he's got to detach himself. And I really pray this is the last we have of this. I'm praying
Hopefully it's
done.
really game over.
I know it won't be done on Drake's side ever.
Bro, what?
Yeah.
I know it won't be done on Drake's side,
He's
but I
coming
think
to the
on
city,
Kendrick's side, for the sake of his career,
Yeah.
he cannot drag this on anymore. And it'll be to his detriment if he does, because if he doesn't respond and Drake says
Keeps
what he
doing it.
says for a while, Kendrick's just gonna look better. Because he came, he did what he had to do. Super Bowl, done.
Mm-hmm.
I wipe my hands clean of it. I'm moving on to the next thing. Which Kendrick seems very much moving on to the next thing
Open.
guy.
Yeah.
Too?
I hope so, man.
So and we can say the two biggest moments of his career,
Yeah.
Drake,
What was the first one?
Control.
Drake.
I mean, Drake was the biggest story out of that because he's the only one that didn't like it.
Everyone else was kind of like.
Okay. Yeah.
And then he went on the radio and made fun of him.
I forget. That was what, 2011? That was grade 11. Yeah, good time.
Then the DMX thing happened, and then Kendrick went on radio and made fun of him again. It's like,
Yeah. Just volunteer the story. That was crazy.
listen, hide rocks, throwing rocks and
yeah.
hiding your hand, man. We talk
Yeah.
about Drake doing it. You do it too, brother.
They both do it.
They both do
been
it.
fucking doing
They
this thing,
both
but
do it, man.
We got Drake dropping Friday, though, so,
How do we feel about that?
excited, bro.
The cover.
I like it.
The
Big up
Money
Saga.
Road
Big
buildings.
up
Saga.
905. Let's go.
Big up Saga.
This is what Saga feels like in the nighttime.
Yeah, I got excited, bro. I got
Kevin
excited.
I've seen
Durant
some
knows
theories
what's up.
about the cover. Somebody said Eskimo Brothers. We gotta stop saying that word, guys. We gotta stop saying
First of all,
Eskimo.
Yeah.
you're right, but that's hard.
How?
That's right.
Why?
Like, I didn't think about it immediately, but
It's
they're
not
like
hard.
wearing- It is, bro.
He's like
It's
37.
hard. It's hard. I like it. I
It's
like
not
it.
hard.
It is. It is.
It's hard
Stop
when you're in
hating.
your 20s, maybe.
No, I don't. First of all, I don't ever want to be an Eskimo, bro. That's
What
crazy.
is that though? I don't know what it is.
It's when you share the same girl
Oh.
at some point.
Yeah.
Or not shared like together at the same
Like, you
time,
guys have
but
a-
like you
a
guys
body
have
in
a
common.
body in common.
Oh, okay. It's
Tunnel
a-
buddies?
buddies? Nah.
That's that
James, never
Caucasian
say
shit
that.
right
That's
there.
crazy.
James said
Tunnel buddies?
they call it tunnel buddies.
Fire.
Calling it tunnel buddies is wild, and Jamaicans would actually read that differently.
That's crazy.
Take
Tunnel
it, buddy.
tunnel
He
buddies.
said say the patois.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, no, R&B album
Yeah, man.
coming. Sexy Songs for You
Mm-hmm.
by Party and Drake. I'm assuming because of Drake's label issues, it'll be Party featuring Drake.
Yeah, on every track, according to academics.
Might give him a song where he just goes off. I need a at least one middle of the ocean, one timestamp type.
I don't know if we're gonna get that, but that would be a nice
I
surprise.
don't think we're gonna get it because he's in Australia right now. Those shows look fucking berserk. But he also announced that he has a solo album that's gonna be coming at some point. And he said, I'm going to have a one-on-one conversation with
yeah,
you
he
guys.
did.
So that sounds to me like
Love
a J.
that.
Cole style, no features,
No features,
just me
Drake.
That's gonna
talking.
be-
And that sounds like rapping.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Especially after giving us this R&B album, I feel like we're
It's
going to
gonna
get...
get bars on bars on bars.
And he knows he got to win people back. I feel like we're going to get that quintessential all-rap album by Drake for the first time.
I don't know, bro. Don't get me too excited, bro. I don't know. Conductor.
If he has any, I think he has one radio banger on there.
On this project or
On
the
the next
next
one.
one.
The solo. I think maybe has one, but I feel like he's
all
gonna
like
rap.
a B-side type
Yeah,
vibe.
I feel like he's gonna rap.
I think he's definitely warming up the fans with this. Of
Mm-hmm.
being like, yo, don't forget who I am. And then when the solo shit drops, it's like, yo, like he's a guy. So
He said a lot more is coming, so we'll see.
Yeah,
I'm excited for it.
How do you feel about his shirt with the bullet holes and the smoke?
I didn't like that.
I saw it and just said,
Many men
I just
wish
said
death upon me, blood and ass.
think
I
Drake
just feel
was
like
saying
you
it
should have
like
started
that.
smoking at a different time. Not when you walk in through the crowd. I feel like there should be a part of the show where like fireworks go off, like gunshots, and then it's like all of a sudden it's smoking.
Nah, I feel that's so much worse. He's just standing in the middle of the crowd, like, look
Listen.
at me, I'm smoking.
We're not gonna say that's the corniest thing we've seen. We've seen some crazy shit on
From-
stage. We've seen a guy dressed as Jesus Christ
Okay.
with blood flowing down his face.
Oh shit.
Let's not forget that with
talking
a
about somebody
diamond encrusted thorn of roses.
3 million. Yeah. It's art.
That was your
That's
friend?
blasphemy.
No,
That's what it
that's
is.
not my friend, no.
It's blasphemy.
Blasphemy.
It is.
Who was it?
Kendrick.
Yeah, I was gonna say your friend.
It's not my friend. I thought it was Kanye. I was talking about Kanye at first.
Oh, we've seen Kanye talk to Jesus on
Yeah.
stage. So it's like,
Jesus
come on.
story. Yeah.
What are we
That's what I
doing?
thought it
What are
was.
we
Yeah.
doing here? I've literally seen Kanye have a conversation with Jesus
Yeah,
on
what the-
stage.
what the fuck?
And I was like, what the fuck is happening right now? I don't need this part of the show at
The
all.
signs were there, man.
I know you want to play Jesus Walks. Just play it. Why do
Since
we
we're talking
need...
about Kanye and Jesus, I just seen a tweet
Oh,
how somebody
God.
was like, "This is the stuff that we're supposed to get out of Kanye on Sundays." And it was a 4-year Sunday service. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it was one of those videos. The first one where he was like going ham on like the
Oh, yeah,
keyboard
yeah,
and
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
And somebody said, "Hey, I need you guys to stop saying that you love this because his mother-in-law made him start a church so that he could get tax breaks. And that's the only reason why they did it."
Well,
he's like,
judging
"I
by
need you-"
his tweets in the
He's
last
like, "I
week,
need you
I
to
feel like
stop
that's super accurate.
glorifying this."
His
Everything is
tweets
a
the last
lie.
week have been absolutely insane. Like I don't even think we really need to discuss
No.
it.
No.
They're
don't-
self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Wiping my hands clean to that nigga, man.
already.
It's a sad. Wow,
It's like.
that's crazy.
Let me correct that statement.
That's crazy.
What I mean is this: I'm no longer defending that man. If you bring it up, oh, it's your goat, blah blah. I'm staying quiet. I'm gonna take the beating. Will I still listen to music? I love the music too much, bro. It's
That's
crack.
insane.
You can't tell me the
power of
music is not good anymore.
Really,
Like,
it's
it
crazy,
is,
man.
but let's be honest, bro. You're not listening to Kanye anymore.
I haven't listened to the last like 2 projects, brother. I don't care.
Oh shit!
I really don't care.
So you didn't
Okay,
even
but
hear-
what about the older stuff?
Yeah,
Of course, the older stuff for
Okay,
sure.
So
yeah.
then,
But that was a different time, a different guy.
no. I'm saying like,
Not same guy.
can you listen to the older stuff now?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's a different person.
Well,
I truly feel like
I've
it's
seen
a different
somebody
guy.
also say that people who continue to think like, "Oh, I'll listen to College Dropout because this wasn't the same Kanye," need to stop that because at this point it's just Kanye.
It's Kanye.
No, I don't believe that. And I don't care. I'm still listening.
Okay, so
Yeah,
would
same
you? Well, I was like, would you listen to R. Kelly? Like,
There was no
That-
time R. Kelly wasn't R. Kelly.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the difference.
The R. Kelly thing is different because he's rapping about his
Kanye
crime.
was genuinely rapping about different things.
Yeah,
like
like-
it was. He was in a different mind state altogether. He was more like Kendrick is now then.
Yeah, I think if he was like rapping about doing harm to a
just-
certain
yeah.
religion, then it's like I can't listen to this because this is like hate music. So
Yeah, no,
I can't do that.
You can feel the energy in the music. I feel like from him, it's just different. It's
It
dark.
is.
It's
He's-
so
his
dark
next
now.
shit's gonna be AI as well. So I don't know if I'm gonna.
Okay.
what is gonna be AI?
His next album.
It's not AI
Oh.
entirely. It's AI for his voice. So it's gonna be
Okay.
making him sound like how he used to sound on tracks. He feels like he doesn't sound the
Oh, I
same.
thought it was.
It's more of a AI voice enhancer than it is music and lyrics and stuff like that. Yeah, yeah. But man, another week, another classic.
Another banger.
We did.
We
it.
do this.
Well,
The
We have the
prosecution
interview.
rests. Defense. Any last words?
No, man. I said what I
All
said.
right.
I won.
Well,
One more thing to ROTM. Go tap in. That's all. That's all.
we're gonna censor that out. James, can you write down the minutes on that?
We do every week.
Yeah. We have an interview with Mr. George Hugh.
Mr. George.
Check it out.
Hugh.
Looking forward to it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are joined by a special guest today. We're trying to help your lives. We're trying to better your lives, all right?
Trying to help you.
In this struggling economy,
Trying to change your life, gang.
this uncertain world, one man has the answers.
One sound.
20 years of banking experience under his belt, ladies and gentlemen. He's an industry leader, an expert in mortgages, and he's Jamaican. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for George Hugh. How you doing, Mr. Hugh?
I'm good. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, man. Thank you for
I'm surrounded
being
by
here.
all this energy. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah,
Is this the first time you did a podcast?
No.
Oh, okay. okay.
He's like, no.
Said it too fast. I don't like that.
He's like, no,
Like, nah, I've been here.
Been doing that.
no.
Yeah, but we want. It's the start of the year. We want to, start the year off right. So we thought it would be best to get a finance expert in here because we poor. I'm just put it on and say we poor. What am I doing if I have $1,000 right now of disposable income? What's the first thing I should do?
You know what? It's an easy question. I'll tell you, the number one thing that stops people from building wealth, it's because people don't have
Talk a little closer to the mic.
Oh, sorry about that. So the number one thing why people can't do well, it's mindset. You know, I'll tell you one thing. I walk up to people,
Gotta lock in.
and I 100% believe this. I'm not a bullshitter. Every single person I pass on the street, you can do well and build well.
Absolutely.
But when I ask people, and I walk up to people, and I say to them, "I'm going to turn you into a rich person." You know what they do? They freaking laugh. They think it's a joke.
They
If
don't
you
think
think
it's
it's a joke,
possible.
it'll never freaking happen.
Yeah. They definitely, it's like the scarce mentality type vibes, you know?
Yeah,
like
for
even
sure.
if I was to tell my mom something just because she's been operating for her whole life with like nothing, if I'd be like, yeah, you could get this much dollars and won't even be crazy. If I said you could get an extra $1,000, she'd be like, no, I can't. That's impossible.
Yeah.
It's just that mentality that a lot of people were raised in, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. Yeah, even for rich people, I find that mentality still exists to an extent. Like you have LeBron who won't use his phone unless he has Wi-Fi.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy.
You see they were making fun of his headphones that he was using when he was playing
Playing a
against
game.
AD.
Terrible.
They're like,
Oh, yeah, I
LeBron,
heard
a
his mic
billionaire,
was, like,
and doesn't
worse.
have...
He's notoriously a cheap guy, and because he's said, just like Will Smith too at times, who said that they have a fear of going broke again. How do you become someone with a mentality to take, especially just financial risks? Because we're talking about a lot of times, especially during the pandemic, there was the whole stock market like craze. Everybody was like getting into stocks all of a sudden. And then we have the meme coins that are coming out, people are taking advantage of.
that GameStop thing.
Yeah,
Where
how do you,
GameStop-
you know what I mean? So how does someone who is not privy to these things, how do they get past that psychological like speed bump?
Block.
Okay, so I know you guys are big sports fans too, so I'm just going to use this analogy to get started, okay? If one day you want to go to the Olympics or you want to play in the NBA or something, you don't end up in the NBA. You got to have a plan, and then you figure out where you are today. You want to get to the NBA, there's a gap. What is that gap? You got to figure it out, do it, and you'll get there.
Yeah.
The problem with building wealth is that everybody says, I want to get there, and it's the same plan as an athlete.
Yeah.
Got to know where you are, where you want to go, and how am I going to get there. The problem is people don't have access to people to tell them how to get there.
Yeah. You don't know what you don't know.
You
Yeah.
don't know what you don't know. And, you know, I see this all the time. Like, when you talk about, I'm going to go back to your question that you said, if I had $1,000 now, where do I start? The problem is, looking at $1,000 and saying a million, it's a big gap.
Big gap, yeah.
And when it's too big, people think it's unrealistic, so I don't do it. But
Think smaller.
yeah, so we're in a world right now where the world is, like you said, economic turmoil. I don't think, you know, poor people, rich people, middle class people, everybody's suffering.
At some point, yeah.
I'm telling you, like I meet people who have good income and they're all suffering.
Yeah.
We're all in the same boat. So I say to them, you got to have the right mentality. So it's okay if the $1,000 goes to 2,000. That's a double. But you go to $1,000, not that much. But it still gets you to 2.
Yeah.
And if you double the 2, you get to 4. You double 4, you get to 8. So you got to take baby steps, just like being an athlete. Do it slow. But the problem is you got to have a coach that's going to help you.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, when people tell them things, you end your own, you give up. Because it's like exercising.
Yeah, you need a personal trainer
You need a
sometimes to keep you disciplined.
100%.
Because you know I'm spending money on this person. I have to be accountable or I'm wasting money.
You know, you hit an amazing thing right now. Even the best athlete, LeBron, he spends $1 million on his body and the best basketball player in the world.
For a reason, yeah.
So I really think that once you make up your mind you want to make money, you need a little coach.
Yeah,
And that coach will kick you in the ass when you need it. And that's what keeps you on, because it's too easy to give up.
Yeah.
When something's hard, you give up so damn easy.
So where can people find a coach?
Like
Like
right
a
here.
financial
Well, anyway, you know.
for $17.99 a month.
No, you know, it's just being surrounded by the right people. You know, I try to explain to people this. When you hang around people who are poor, then poor is okay. You know what? It's okay. Everybody, all
Yeah.
my friends are poor.
Yeah.
When you start hanging around people that start to have a little success, then you get a little more success. Even this podcast, you guys are well known. I didn't even realize how well known you are. And I'm freaking honored to be in this room. Maybe I'm going to rub
We're
off on
honored to
you.
have you.
It's the same thing around building wealth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to hang around people who want to get rich. And I tell people all the time, you know, every time there's an economic downturn, honestly, what happens? The rich get richer and the poor get poorer.
Yep.
Every single time, and everybody knows this. So you know what I do? I study what the rich are doing. And what they're doing is buying assets when they're cheap. You know what everybody else is doing? Selling their assets. There's the number, you know, it's just basic knowledge.
Supply
it's
and
not hard.
demand, yeah. And what assets do you see people are buying up right now?
Okay, so guys who have $1,000, you know, the stock market is so huge.
Yeah.
It's the size of this room, for example. Each one's a dot. To pick a winner, it's like winning a lottery ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I tell people, don't play the market like it's a lottery. So what I do is I try to reduce the chances of being a failure.
Reduce risk.
So, you know, even personally or corporately, what happens to companies when you run out of money? You go bankrupt.
Yeah.
So when I invest in stocks, I make sure I do my research and buy stocks that have a very slim chance of going bankrupt.
Bankrupt. Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, the size of this room becomes the size of this ball, and when I pick here, I have a better chance of winning. The problem when you hear people buying crypto and all these things, they're trying to gamble to win
They're trying to get rich quick.
quick, and
Yeah.
that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And fail.
It exists, but in a very, like you said, it's a very small margin. And it's
very-
like you have to be very lucky to be at the right place at the right time with the right knowledge, with the right amount of money to even get in that situation.
Yeah, but it still speaks to like, where did your relationship with money come from, right? Because like you can go from growing up poor and then you get a great job or like a great opportunity, and now you're, let's say, just entering like six figures. I think a lot of people my age around there, like you start getting to there. What happens then, right? Because you get in a state where you're like, okay, I just need to save, which is not necessarily the smarter thing to do, right?
No.
So what do you do in that case? Like, how do you switch that mentality from like, let me keep everything to let me think about the future?
Yeah, because it's scary. It's terrifying,
Yeah.
especially when you make that leap. You don't want to go backwards, and you feel like a failure if you do go backwards for some reason. Even though it's not circumstances are circumstances.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like a lot of people are afraid of those financial risks when it comes to. But like you said, doing the research and finding out, okay, what's less likely to fail, and investing there first. Also, do you put stock into? No pun intended. Things that you like versus things that you don't like.
Yeah, we all, you know, like, I guess the first thing you got to do is you got to have the mentality, I need to do something different. Because I'll tell you right now, so many people are suffering. And I look at them and I say, what have you done different? Nothing. Then how do you expect a different result?
Yeah.
If you're suffering, you got to figure it out, figure out the problem and correct it, right?
Pivot. Yeah.
So now, all of a sudden, you go and you play the market. And when we get into economic turmoil, people are scared. Because if I only have $1,000 in my hand, I can't afford to lose it.
Yeah.
So what do? I just want to hug it and keep it close. I don't even put it on my mattress.
Yeah.
The
I did that
biggest-
for a long time.
Yes. So you know what? At the end of the day,
Yeah.
you will still have your $100 in 2
Yeah.
years because you hugged it.
Yeah.
But we hit this thing called COVID. And what COVID did, it created inflation. And when inflation went up, you know, your
That
$100 of
$100.
groceries are now $150. Your liter of gas is now $1.60. And when I hear people say, damn, the inflation rate's 3%, I go, 3%? If it were 3%, my groceries would be 103, not 150.
Yeah.
The
yeah.
problem is the $100 that you hid
Yeah.
stayed the same, but
But
now it
everything
only
else.
buys $70 worth of groceries. So do you really have $100?
Nope, not anymore.
And that's what people are figuring out. Damn, I hugged my money because I'm scared, but it's shrinking. Why do you think that's why people are in bad shape?
Yeah.
So did you always have this mentality with money?
Well, I'm going to share that a bit later. I'm gonna answer some more questions. But I have this view that I would love to share with you guys.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You want me to do it right now?
Yeah.
If
I
you
feel
want
like I'm
to.
hogging the mic.
No.
This is your time to shine. You have
Okay.
expertise.
If you guys give me the permission, I'll do it. You know, I find that once we have children or get married, we go into this thing called sacrifice mode. And you won't stop it until your kid's like 20 years old because we worry about it.
Yeah.
And you worry about your spouse. We need a place to live. There's no way I can let it happen where we have nowhere to live and run the street. So we sacrificed and said, you know what?
That's why I used to mess with single moms back in the day.
You what?
Yeah, stable
Mess
home.
with single moms. so
Stable
they'd have
home,
a
stable
home.
snacks.
Yeah,
you feel me?
yeah.
You're ridiculous.
Hey, I was poor. I
snacks
was
are
poor.
good.
I had to do what I had to do.
I was not poor. I just
You're
wanted the
surviving.
snacks.
This is a survival story.
I was gonna be mean and say we could tell, but
You said it.
That's what
You
we're doing.
said it.
Nah,
You can't
that's
say
what we're
you
doing.
were
today. I mean, we
gonna
can
say
do
it
that.
if you say it.
We have company, so I can do it.
Yeah.
Like,
I was gonna say it. Yes, go ahead.
So
Sorry.
anyway, so once we get married, have kids, and we sacrifice, and we'll probably sacrifice till our kids are like 20. By the time our kids are 20, we're like 50, 60 years old. The problem is that if you retire at 60, 65, what happens to most people's income when you retire?
it drops.
Up or down?
Well, it goes down.
Right, and
Yeah,
it
a
drops
lot.
for most people because like only 20% of the companies have pensions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So most people realize that their income is going to go from 100 to 30.
Yep.
And if your income goes to 100 to 30,
Your
what are you going to do
lifestyle.
again? What are you going to do again?
Yeah.
Sacrifice.
Yep.
And then now I sacrifice until they bury me. And when I look back at that whole timeline,
Just
I
like
sacrificed my whole
sacrifice.
freaking life.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's pretty pathetic. So I started this view, and I like to share it with my clients because it's key, is that the day I retire, it's a celebration of my hard work. But I'd say to my wife, like, if I retire and my income drops, can I still go out with the boys, golfing and stuff?
No.
I said, no. Why the fuck would I retire?
Yeah.
You wanna
Honestly.
continue. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I said, well, if my income goes up when I retire, can I still go? She said, yes. So I'm working hard to get to that point so I can celebrate my hard work at retirement and start going to those places that I'd never been able to go to.
Yeah.
And everybody says, sign me up for that program. And I would love to get everybody there. I actually think that everybody can get there. The earlier you start, the more it's easier. But if you wait till, you can't join the program when you're 5 years away from retirement.
And we hear this our whole lives too. We just everybody's just like, yeah, I'll do it next week.
For
I know.
sure, yeah.
But honestly,
That's what I was saying for like the longest time. I only started investing this year,
okay, that's good.
and I've been saving though. Like the last couple of years, it's been a crazy, saving journey. But I was like, okay, what can I do next? And I literally had to make that decision and be like, okay, I trust myself to just go all in as much as I can, because I need to make sure that, again, I have a child. I need to make sure that I have stuff if we fall on hard times. And then I also have to think about what's going to happen later when I do retire. But I'm also trying to live, right? Because I do realize that so many people sacrifice things for a very long time
And
when they
don't
have
live.
kids and they don't get to do things. They're like, I can't. And so that's why when I feel the opportunity, or I feel like there's something that I really love to do, like today, I got my Beyonce tickets, paid way too much money. Yes, thank you. Headed to New York, baby. I paid a lot more money, but I'm like, yo, at least I know that the product is going to be quality. I'm going to have a great time.
Something
I'm not
to
going to
look forward to.
regret it. And at least I can smile, right? Like there's so many negative things and things that are happening that just make me down. And at least this is going to make me happy. So it's like, I do want to still be able to live now. And I know there's some people who will be like, oh, you can't, like, there's this one lady who would be like, I seen you have so many sneakers. Like, you're over here buying sneakers when you could use that money for other things. And it's like, okay, I could. But like, that was my guilty pleasure that I enjoyed at that moment. So it's kind of like, what am I supposed to do? Just only save, and like buy real estate that might not necessarily make me that happy? Or
And
do I just kind of like enjoy my life? I feel like there needs to be like
A balance.
a
Yeah, it has to be a
balance, right?
For sure. And I feel like, especially now when like times are so weird and rough, people look for moments to reward themselves more often than they would have before. Because it's like life is tough.
Yeah.
Like,
It's tough.
at every angle, life is tough. I put it in my stand-up set. I was like, yo, I'm getting fat because I'm developing a fat mentality. I'll finish one task and be like, I deserve this. And I'll get on Uber Eats and I'll buy some
Wow.
food, knowing I could just make some food, but life is so tough. I keep being like, I need to reward myself, like at every turn. And then you fall into that trap where you're like, you're doing that for so long. And then when you were younger and you get that first check and you're eating out. And then the last like 2 days before you get your next check, so you got to make food, you're making sandwiches. And then you just keep getting into that cycle. It's tough. It's honestly tough. And it's hard for me to even blame people who try to find little joys and little pleasures right now, because like I said, life is just difficult at every turn. If you are, especially in this city right now, young people have a particularly tough time with buying a home, right? But I know most people under 30 that are like, just have written it off. Like it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I think there's some people under 40 though.
Oh,
Do you know what I mean? Like millennials.
Me.
I think millennials in general,
Yeah.
we don't have it as easy as other generations,
Especially
right?
because we saw how it was. Like the people
guys
under
slapped,
30
You
didn't
guys
get to
slacked.
see how it was.
We didn't have anything.
I've seen 54 cents gas. I've seen groceries.
Damn.
You wanted me to buy a house at 18, huh?
Yo,
Low-key,
fill the
yeah,
cupboard,
low-key. Yeah.
fill the cupboard, fill the fridge, $100
Yes.
max.
Yep.
I've seen that life. So now when life is like this, it's like it plays in your head. You're like, is there
This ain't a
anything
deal.
to look forward to?
Yeah.
Is it wise for people to rent or work towards buying a home right now?
The easy question is that you should always strive to own, because the reality is that when you're renting, you're making somebody else rich. But it's not easy to get out of the renting mentality. It's not easy to get out of the renting mentality. It's hard. But a lot of people say, and I hear what you're saying, Alicia, that it's very difficult even for your generation to buy a house. It's almost impossible that they want to give up, but you can't give up. Like it's never been easy. Even 30 years ago, when you look at some of our parents used to pay 22% interest. When my parents came here from Jamaica, they bought a small house and we had maximum mortgage. And we came here with 6 children.
Wow.
So it's always been tough.
Yeah.
The thing is that we still got to strive to get it.
Yeah.
It's never easy. But the first thing you need to do is sit down. I love sitting down with people. A lot of people, like, I'm passionate about helping people. Like you guys just met me, but I'm extremely passionate. I love people to succeed. And people say, the reality is that when you go speak to someone and people make a judgment that guy can't afford a house now, they don't want to talk to you. Why am I going to waste my time?
Yeah.
I'm willing to give more time to these people because I need to tell them why you can't buy a house now. And it's only when you know that why you can't buy that you have a chance of buying.
Some accountability.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, like, you guys have really good income right now, but you have no down payment. It's tough.
Yeah.
And then maybe you can ask a parent. And a lot of parents will say no if you don't have a plan. But if you said, Mom and Dad, I've been trying really hard. Is it possible you can help me? Because I tell you, the most active bank right now in helping people get mortgage
As parents.
is the bank of Mom and Dad.
Yeah.
Not mine.
I know.
I mean, that's the case for a lot of people, if we're being honest.
is.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
No,
if your
there
parents
is.
didn't have that information, then
but
it's
we
like,
could-
they're shit out of luck too.
But it's like you can, once you are told what you're missing, it's easier for you to make those little baby steps
Yeah.
What you don't
towards
know,
get those goals.
You don't know.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
So like
Exactly.
once you've been made aware, that's when you're like,
And some
okay.
people don't even
100%.
write out their expenses for the month and
Yeah.
tally that against how much they're making. They're just going
Living.
by the wind of their pants,
Yeah.
like just free balling it. And it's like I know people who are still sometimes afraid to look at their account.
Yeah.
Like they don't look at their account
Why?
because they know they're spending too much.
Oh,
They
What,
know
that's
they're
you?
spending
That's
too
Kobe?
much, and there's so many times where they're like, I don't even want to see it. I don't even want to see it until I get paid, and then I'll deal with whatever. And so it's like, it's very tough. They said the average person doesn't have $1,000 in their bank account right now.
That's wild.
Like the average person.
And
And
has,
think
like, no
about
savings.
how many
They're
people you
too-
see daily who look like they're getting it. Like they're living the life. It's all smoke and mirrors.
Aren't
It
people
is.
like 2 paychecks away too from like
Yeah.
going
Yes.
broke
Yeah.
or something like
That's
that?
what they said during the pandemic. But we also found out that a lot of these companies are as well.
Everybody's broke.
Everybody's broke. That's what made me very like worried was when the pandemic happened and certain companies couldn't last 2-3 months. And I'm like, oh, so we all pretending.
Yeah.
We all pretend.
We're all
all a
out here
facade.
pretending
It's
that
all
we
a
rich
facade.
and we got it.
But I think one of the problems too is that with social media being so active, there's a perception that everybody's doing well.
Absolutely.
Because I don't go in there to tell people I'm sad.
Yup.
I only tell people what I did.
Some
And so-
some people do the opposite. Some people do the opposite.
Oh, they do?
Yeah. Like, you ever heard of Amanda Seals?
Oh my gosh.
Never mind. Listen.
Yeah.
She just cries
Oh,
on camera.
Yeah. That's a whole new genre of pity clout that's happening on the internet, but that's neither here nor there. You are right. The majority of people, you just
They
want to
just
show
show
the
the
wins.
highlights.
Just show the highlights of your life. They'll even do it when they're not having a good time. You ever see somebody out not having a good time,
They'll be like-
and then you go home and look at their story, and then, oh, you had a ball, and it's like, no, wait,
you
I was
didn't.
there.
Yeah.
I was there. When did this happen? And it's everyone is out here pretending. So I feel like you're absolutely right. People should stop like the comparisons on
Yeah.
social media, although it's easier said than done. It, like we said, it's all smoke and mirrors. A lot of people are just pretending. In terms of renting and buying a home, what are the first steps in terms of, is there any incentives or any, what's the word I'm looking for?
When you
Any
buy it for the
perks
first
or
time?
anything? Yeah. Are there any things that first time buyers?
Yeah. So the government's been doing some good stuff for first-time home buyers. So the benefits before were kind of minimal. You get a land transfer tax credit, and you can use up to $25,000 of RRSPs.
What's the land?
land transfer tax? Is, you know, we have a
you-
tax on everything we buy. The tax on a house is called land transfer tax.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
And
just a
then-
name. Okay.
It's just it's a formal name. So they would give you a rebate off that, and you could use $25,000. And now the government's realizing that our country is not in very good shape. Like it's very, very difficult. So I have always believed that you need to get yourself into a position where it makes it easier for the young kids to get in, because if they don't,
Yeah.
we're all fried.
So which is why my theory is why they're building all these condos.
There's
They're
what?
Building all these condos and apartments because
Yeah.
they even just passed a law on avenues. I think this week where you can now build mid-rise
Yeah.
on avenues. So
Yeah.
like things that are above 2 stories. So
Yeah,
like
remember when
6-story
we went
homes.
through that? Remember I found that post where it was like every avenues, streets,
Yeah,
roads,
yeah,
whatever
yeah.
are all different.
Yeah.
And like, there's rules
Zoning.
for certain
Yeah.
ones
Zoning-
where you
zoning
can only
laws.
you can only have it this high. You can only do this. You can only have, there has to be trees on the like
wow,
the side of
serious.
it. Avenue,
Yeah.
you have to have trees before you have like a building. Yeah.
Because I didn't know what the difference between a boulevard and a court.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me either.
And what does this all mean?
I just found out now.
I mean,
I was like, I thought it was just fancy
Yeah,
names,
it's
but it's
really
like
interesting.
there's certain aspects of that road that,
Shout out to the city
classified
planners.
as one thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's very interesting to see how people are approaching just buying homes and whatnot. They're talking about the housing bubble
yeah,
popping.
right.
They've been saying that for about 10 years now. What's happening? When's it gonna pop?
I'll tell you, this is what I really believe too, is that a lot of people listen to the media every day.
Yeah.
And the sad part is that a lot of people are financially illiterate, but we listen to the media. And I say to myself, if people listen to the media and follow what the media did and the media was correct, then 90% of the people who do that should be rich and 10% poor.
Yeah.
Right? If the media is correct and you listen to it, then you should do well.
Why
What's
is
the
it the
opposite?
opposite?
What's the opposite?
Why is it the opposite? Yeah.
Of course, 10% rich, 90% poor. So I say to people, what you should really do is do the opposite of the media. You'll do better. So everybody says, don't do the opposite of media, because I don't want to look like an idiot, George.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? But what I try to do is educate people. When you educate people, all of a sudden you get the guts to go opposite to the media.
Yeah.
And so I believe that the media, like when you guys talk about how difficult it is and what do I do to buy a house, when you listen to the media, you hear that Trump taxes are coming, we're going to head a recession and all this stuff. Because usually in a recession, house prices go down and all this stuff. So I want to buy a house, but I listen to the media and the media says, don't buy a house. Chaos is coming. What should you do?
Buy a
Buy a house.
Chaos is coming. Bunker up.
Right.
So-
Okay, under that mentality now, I told you what happens when there's an economic chaos.
The rich get richer.
So what should you
the
do?
poor get poorer.
Oh my
Do the
God.
opposite
Like,
of the media.
So
it just, yeah.
okay, so right now I'm in the position to buy a house, and I've been looking for the last couple of months, and I've been going back and forth between the two for multiple reasons. And do you think it would be the best time to do it like right now, or wait until this recession actually hits?
It's kind of a loaded question. Can I take 1 minute to really explain this?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So this is what's going to happen. Trump is going to initiate a tariff. He said 25%.
And then we go
I don't-
shut the lights off.
You know what 20% is? 25% is huge.
Yeah.
It is.
So I think there's going to be some kind of tariff, but I don't think it's going to be 25. But in either case, when he puts a tariff on the Canadian goods, the cost of our goods is going to go up.
Yeah.
And then the American people are going to have a choice. Do I buy domestic or Canadian? Because the domestic, right. So now all the Canadian goods that are sold in the United States, also the sales drop. So you go back home to Canada and all the manufacturing plants are going to go, oh my God, my sales are down.
Yeah.
I got to lay off one of the shifts. You lay off the shifts, what's going to happen to unemployment? Goes up.
Yeah.
So now the Bank of Canada steps in and said, I can't have unemployment too high. Our country will go into chaos. So the Bank of Canada has a choice to use interest rates to lower interest rates. If you lower interest rates, people borrow more, spend more, and then the economy starts to do well. Like you have more money, you go to the restaurants more, the restaurant gets busier, you got to hire waitresses.
Yeah. Yeah.
So unemployment comes down, right? So normally, so I do believe that if we do a tariff, we're going into a recession and the Bank of Canada is going to have to cut rates. So normally though, when you cut rates, what happens to the rest of the economy? It goes in the toilet. But I think it's going to be different this time.
Really?
I think that if you buy pretty good real estate in the core, it's going to do really, really well. I don't think the entire country is going to do well, but certain good pockets will do well.
I'm looking at Mississauga.
It's good area. So it will do well. Besides what, like I just told you, do the opposite of the media,
Yeah.
right? So,
I got a proof, like the mortgage rate that I was told was 4.1%.
okay, that's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's a lot to do. Like I do mortgages too. And I'll tell people, rate doesn't make you rich.
Yeah. Yeah.
The flexibility of the mortgage, you don't want to get burned.
That part.
There's some bad
Fixed or
mortgages
variable,
out
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Oh, didn't they pass a law on something about
They-
fixed rate mortgages? Or no, they upped
The 30-year.
30.
The term,
Yeah.
The 30.
The first time home buyers.
Yeah, for first-time home
So
buyers,
that
you can go
helps.
from 25 to 30, but there is like a premium on it, right?
A little bit, but
Yeah.
it still allows you to go to
Yeah.
30,
Yeah.
which helps you with your managing your payment and get you in a house. Because I believe that getting in the house is you got to create a base in Canada. Because at the end of the day, fast forward 30 years for you guys. Most Canadians retire with 90% of their wealth in their house. Right? If you're worth 900,000, it's all in the equity
Yeah.
of your house.
That's why I feel so bad for the people in LA.
Fire, yeah.
All their money was in the house for
Right.
the most part.
But I still feel bad for the people here. You know why? Because you can't eat your house.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What are you going to do? People are scared of their mortgage, so you have this house.
Yeah.
You can't eat it or you can't live in
Yeah.
it, so you end up not having a good retirement. You know, honestly, I had this guy came into me probably a month ago. He has a $2.5 million house, and he came into me. He had no mortgage, and he came up to me and he said, "Hey George, I need your help." I said, "What do you need help with?" He goes, "You have a $2.5 million house with no mortgage." He goes, "The city just knocked on my door, and I'm in arrears on my property taxes by $60,000."
What?
I said, "Okay, so why don't you get a mortgage?" And in addition, me and my wife have no money to enjoy our retirement. My windows need fixing and my roof needs fixing. And I have no money. And I go, "You got money in your house." He refuses to get a mortgage.
Because he could get equity from, like, he could
He can use it to fix your house.
fix
right?
your
why
house,
wouldn't
yeah,
he do it?
and then pay.
Well, why
it.
won't you do it?
Yeah.
The mentality is wrong.
Yeah.
Well,
Use
he's
that
hoarding
house.
it.
He's hoarding.
So when you
That's-
paid
He
off
thinks
your
just
mortgage,
because he has, like, no
you can
mortgage.
just you can pull out another mortgage.
Yeah, you can pull
100%.
equity out of the house, especially if he's paid off the mortgage, and that's the money that he has. Like, he's sitting on that, but he doesn't want to pull from that because he's
Right.
hoarding the money. This mentality is screwed.
But you just said something amazing. When you have a $2.5 million of equity, you can actually use it to enjoy your retirement. And what I tell people is, you pull out $300,000 out of your whatever your house you have, you spend it. By the time you spend it, the house price has gone up again.
So by pulling out another mortgage, do you get to determine how much?
Yes.
Okay,
You,
as long as
you
it's
need to have
under-
the income and stuff to qualify.
Okay.
But this is where the rat race starts. If you're buying a house and you're making money and you're working, you have the income to pull out. And it gets easier. Like I always tell people, there's this rule that I use 0 to 1, 1 to 5. It's extremely hard to make your first million.
Yeah.
Going from 1 to
Drake said
5
that too.
is way easier.
Easy, yeah.
Yeah.
You know why? Because you learned how to build the first million, you have confidence, and you stop listening to the freaking media.
Yeah.
Right? And then all of a sudden you set yourself up for success.
And what about life? I've heard things about pulling money out of your life insurance as well. Is that? Do you think? Would you advise people on doing that?
It's legitimate.
Would you advise people on doing it though?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah? Okay.
You know what? At the end of the day, you know, I have 3 kids and I love my kids and stuff. I'm not working hard and saving all my money to die and leave it to my kids.
Okay,
Yeah.
Jackie Chan.
Jackie
That's what
Chan.
Jackie Chan said.
He said he's not giving anything
no.
to his
giving them
kids.
a
So one day, we work hard to enjoy our celebration
Absolutely.
of life.
Absolutely.
And when I go, they're still going to get something.
If you have life insurance.
Love. Fuck them kids.
But there's a point where we buy a house,
Yeah.
build equity. It's for us to use.
I have a question about the life insurance thing. If you're pulling money out of that, are you pulling from the face amount or are you pulling from the monthly payments you've done?
So how insurance works is that you buy these premiums.
Yeah.
And when you pay premiums, after a certain amount of premiums, your premiums are covered and it starts to build a cash surrender value.
Okay.
So when you buy it younger, it starts to build when you're
Right.
older. So just like a house might be worth 300,000, you can potentially have a life insurance policy worth 300. You can use that to borrow money too.
Yeah. that's
So
what-
it's no
that's what I was-
different of an asset.
Is it better to just put your money into that than a bank?
100%. The bank, you know.
But still,
Let me,
Why wouldn't I put it into the life insurance?
like
even
I-
still back to that. So if the insurance is worth now 300,000, is that the face amount or is that how much you've been paying along? the
no,
years?
that's how much it's worth today.
Okay.
It has a value.
Interesting. Okay.
And you can actually use it and borrow against it. So you can say,
That's the same way you would a mortgage.
Before having put 300,000 into it.
no, but if the value is 300, you can say to the bank, I'm going to use my life insurance policy as security. Can I borrow 100,000 from it? And they'll say yes.
And then you put it back in. Right? Like you
Right,
pay and
or
you
we
put it
can-
back
yeah,
in.
you can do whatever you want. But you could. Like, the funny thing about Alicia says, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so people think insurance is a cash grab. There's no value to me. That's why people are so down on insurance. But I think insurance is a, you know, I think that there's a 3-step process to building wealth. You got to build, you got to protect your wealth, and then you transfer your wealth, generational wealth.
Yeah.
And the reason why I really preach these 3 steps, because I'm a big sports guy. And I've seen guys like Mike Tyson, who was making $1 million, had so much money in the bank, go bankrupt. Like, how do you go
Well,
bankrupt?
he did that intentionally. He's gone on record like he was not happy with money and he hated everyone.
Well, whatever the
he
reason.
hated everyone around him with money because nobody was like being real.
Real.
And he's like,
Yes.
the day I got broke was the happiest day of my life.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Wow.
he's Mike's a different guy. You know,
Yeah.
CTE. And
Floyd
stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Floyd Mayweather. You know,
Floyd
there we
Mayweather.
go.
That's
There we
good.
go.
Yeah,
There we
there
go.
you Money making Floyd.
But I've seen a lot of pro athletes in basketball, baseball. They go
Antoine
bankrupt too.
Walker. There's a
Yeah.
whole documentary on athletes. I think it's called Broke. Was it 30 for 30 Broke
I
or
ever
something
saw
like
that.
that? And it was like detailing athletes that have like gambling issues and just
Yeah.
spending issues and how quickly they went bankrupt. And yeah, that's terrifying. And
It
they
is.
say that it happens to most athletes.
Yeah.
It does.
It does.
Like
Yeah.
the majority of athletes,
Especially NFL players.
they think
Oh,
they're
yeah.
set.
Because they don't even
They
get
do.
guarantees or anything like that, and they just go in, spend
and they
it,
don't
and
invest.
Yep.
get
And they think
injured,
they're-
and then
You
there.
think you're 36 years old and you're set for life.
Yeah.
And you're
You're not.
not. There's a lot of
Psych.
life left. There's a lot of life
I
left.
have a stat for you guys. Of people that win a lottery, what percent go bankrupt?
All of them.
Probably like 80.
80%, I would
It's
say.
80.
It's high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say, the second step is protecting, and a lot of protecting of your wealth can go through insurance. So there's a lot of stuff. Like that's another level, but at the end of the day, we can all get there.
I heard
to
that's
some degree.
how a certain family, I won't say who because they rich and powerful. Certain family, that's how they keep their wealth is investing it into
Their
like,
insurance.
the insurance or a trust. There's like
Yeah,
some
yeah.
sort of trust, and then they just pull money out and don't really put it back in. But they're able to. I can't remember the full intricacies of it, but it's like a cheat code. It's like some sort of
A
loophole.
rich cheat code.
Yeah, a rich cheat code that you can keep putting money in and taking out, and it's like it never ends. So it's wild.
So, just we make $100,000, right? A lot of us pay 50% tax.
Yep.
So I take home 50. What people haven't
Sad.
realized
Yeah.
is that if I made 100 and I reduce my taxable income, I take home more money. So if I reduce my taxes from 50 to 40, I take home 60. So that's a wealth building strategy.
That's what I've been trying to do.
Minimize
How do you do
taxes.
that? How do you minimize taxes?
We'll show you about that. I'll talk to you about that.
RSPs, the write-offs,
Right?
like all that stuff.
Yeah, investing
the
in businesses.
TFSA, that's only from the capital gain.
businesses, yeah.
It's not from what
Oh,
you
she's
actually
good.
put in.
Drugs.
FHSA, like, listen, I got taxed $24,000 last year
Oh.
from my business income. Yeah.
So
And
Sad.
after that, I said, I am investing. And so my
Stomach
money
was hurting,
is
I know
going
that.
to all of these
Almost
different
threw up.
things. I know this year I haven't done it. I never did it enough last year because I didn't actually do my taxes until like end of summer. And then that's when I got hit with the thing. So I didn't put enough in, but I was sick to my stomach and I was like, all right, so what do I need to do now?
Yeah.
Money's
That's
going into my RSP. I put the $8,000 because every year, if you're a first-time home buyer, you can put $8,000 into FSHA.
Yeah.
And then at the first of the year, you can go and put the other $8,000. That's the most you could do up until like $40,000. So January came. Let me throw in another $8,000 there.
amazing.
I thought it was still 24,000.
Well, TFSA is the only thing with TFSAs is when you gain from whatever you invested in, that isn't taxed. But your actual money that you put in,
in.
you still have to get taxed
Yeah,
on that.
you
it was
tax on it.
taxable when you put it in, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not for me because like
Yeah.
with my own business.
Right. Oh, yeah, okay, all right.
I have to still pay the taxes with it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
If I put it from my check, then yes, it
What's
would
the
already
cap
be
on that
taxed.
right now?
Oh, it
'Cause it
depends
goes up
on how
by-
much. Yeah.
When did it start again? 2008?
Yeah.
Was it
I have no
8?
idea.
And it's like 2,000
And it's up 5 every year?
No, like it
Is
it
it 5
varies.
or
5,
4?
6, 7.
Yeah.
a
One
year.
And they're-
time
and
it was
they're
like
I know it
9.
varies. Yeah, it varies
Yeah.
every
They're raising it to try to help people buy homes.
Yeah.
So, back to this tax thing, we all agree that minimizing taxes puts more money in your pocket.
Yeah.
And here's a shocking thing. Like when you talk about mindset, right? So you have personal taxes, it's the highest tax bracket in Canada. Then you have capital gains, which is half your personal. Then you have dividend taxes, you have tax-free savings account. You got all these other things which lower.
Your
Guess where 90% of Canadians earn their money?
personal.
In the highest tax bracket.
Yeah.
It's silly.
So like that's one thing that I've been trying to figure out with my business income. It's not a corporation,
Right.
right? And so I am getting like the personal tax, right? On the sole whatever proprietorship.
Right.
There we go. I've been contemplating, I've heard that if I switch to corporation, then I could pay myself dividends
Right.
of 40K dividends.
No, so I'll explain what you can
Okay.
do. So when you earn income,
Okay.
if you put it in a corporation, and so the corporation has made money. So right away, the corporate tax is around 18% versus your 40% personal taxes. So right away, if you leave your money in there, it grows at a lower tax bracket. And if you do need money, you can pay yourself dividends, which is a lot less than personal taxes. So that's why people set up corporations. The downside is that when you set up a corporation, you have to file taxes every single year.
Yeah.
And it's cost a little bit more.
Yeah.
But it's worth it.
So, and then when you take the dividends, that doesn't get taxed, or it does.
You
lower.
can only take a dividend from profits. So you have to have net income profits. Like you can't have a loss in your thing and pay yourself dividend. Dividend is going to be paid when you have a net income.
Yeah.
So if you're declaring net income, you're going to pay some corporate taxes, and then you pay yourself, instead of paying 40%, you pay 20% dividend tax.
Oh, okay.
So you're saving taxes
saving
all
it.
the way around. So when you're self-employed, don't pay yourself payroll taxes for 50,000, dividend taxes of 50,000, then you take home more money. So these are little things that
Loopholes, man.
nobody knows.
Loopholes,
for the
nobody
rich.
knows.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
telling you.
Nobody knows.
And then how do you
Tricks.
pay yourself dividends though? You have to pay it in like the shares or something, or like what?
straight
I
into
don't-
cash,
Oh, okay.
and then your accountant issues a T5, which is your dividend income. T4 is for personal income. T5 is, but it's
dividends.
same
That's the other
salary,
problem too,
but you
though.
make money more.
The other problem too is it's too much information.
No, it is overwhelming.
And
It's
overwhelming on top of everything else you have to care about and think about. It's a lot, but I mean, it's
Especially
your
if
life.
you're just trying to survive.
Yeah,
You
if
know
you're
what I
just
mean?
trying to survive, trying to learn all this stuff, that's my biggest issue with the education system. Is like I really feel like it should be all reworked to real life issues.
Scenarios?
Like math
Yeah.
should be real life math that I'm gonna deal with, not Pythagoras. You know what I
Unless
mean?
you want to be a scientist or something like that.
Yeah, but that should be like a course you can take. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I want like applied
The applied
to
math,
life.
the applied math needs to be regular, basic, human, everyday type
Exactly,
of math. That's gonna
exactly.
help us survive.
But listen, we've taken up a lot of your time. Thank you so much.
Wait, I had somebody ask a question. Can I ask that one?
yeah.
Somebody asked it. Sorry. They said the RRSP. Do you think it is wise to use your RRSP to put a down payment on a home?
100%.
Yeah.
So what happens with RSP is that when you could, like, just say your income was 50,000, I mean 100,000, right? So you're in a 50% tax bracket. If you buy 30,000 of RSP, all of a sudden your income goes to 70,000. So now you're taxed at 70,000, which is like 30%. So the difference between the two, you get in cash.
Yeah.
And then if you have a corp,
Yes. So anyway, so now you got a cash back from your RSP.
Okay.
The government's allowing you, because you already got
They'll
a
give you more
deduction.
time to pay
No,
it
they
back.
give it to you without taxing you on a
Okay.
RSP,
Okay.
but you already got the cash back from it. So they're allowing you to use it. So if it helps you to buy a house, in all cases, you got to buy the house. Right?
So if you have a down payment, would you just use your down payment, or would you still use the RRSP and keep some of your actual cash?
Well, I always say that there's a rule that if you don't have 20% down, you got to do this thing called mortgage default insurance, which costs money. So if you have enough, just put enough down to at least do the 20 and avoid the 20, the
interest,
mortgage default insurance.
And do you think that those, those outside programs that help you get to the down payment, and they do like a co-ownership, do you think that's worth it?
Yeah, I knew that from 2017.
I don't like it because
On God. I said, what? You
No,
can't
it
even, I was
sounds like a drug deal.
because they have equity in your home. They have
That
equity in
sounds
your
like
home
a
for
dr-
real.
yeah.
It keeps going up.
I
So
don't
it's
like
like,
that.
you're right.
I was 17
Give it
reading this
away.
up. I'm like, oh, nah.
I don't
it's a
like that.
finesse.
Yeah, no.
You're 100% right.
Yeah.
That's like a drug dealer fronting you money. Like,
And he's there all the time. Yeah. He's constantly, you won? He said, you won? We won.
remember you got there where you pull up in the backseat? Like,
I talk, you listen. That's who it is. That's Big Girl. I know that,
Big
bro.
Girl.
I've been knowing, man.
Yeah.
Before we go, 3 places you'd put your money into the stock market right now. If you broke. If you broke. If you broke.
Take some notes real quick.
If you broke, not if you up.
So I don't want to gamble. So do not gamble on stocks
Yeah,
that
don't
are
do that.
gambles. Okay.
Index.
Number
Be
one
smart.
thing. Do not buy. If you do an index, it's safer.
Especially with Trump there.
Yeah. So you know
I feel
what?
like that helps.
He makes an amazing point because Trump's going to be measuring himself on the success of the stock market
Yeah,
over his 4
absolutely.
years.
And the businesses.
He
And-
went in and it went up.
Look at what he's doing for plastics already.
You watch, like, you got to play the market and support. So who like on the side, I'm not saying anything, not giving any recommendations.
Legally,
Who
he
was
can't.
that? Who was at his inauguration? Go take a look.
Meta.
Melania.
Yeah.
That
you
black
saw-
guy.
But
the preacher.
Meta, like Elon.
Yeah.
So
Free Atlantis.
Tesla, Starlink. Well,
Yep.
Starlink's not public yet.
Did with Amazon.
Meta, Apple,
Amazon, yes, yes.
Apple,
what's the alphabet one?
Microsoft.
Is it
Alphabet.
alphabet?
Yeah.
Alphabet is
It's
Google,
Google,
right?
yeah. Microsoft.
And YouTube.
Hint, hint. I
Oh,
think
yeah, I
those
guess
guys are
Alphabet.
going to do well.
I
Yeah.
heard that Microsoft is going to be good because they're doing like the AI stuff.
They are.
And
Oh,
they
yeah.
said for you to buy and hold for 5 years.
I knew about that NVIDIA thing before it happened, and I just didn't.
Oh, I knew about ASTS.
I didn't
you do
think
it?
it was gonna. I didn't think it was gonna take off the way it did. Like I saw
fool.
the plans of AI for it like 2 years ago, and I was like, "Oh, this is crazy." But Nvidia isn't like a household
Name, yeah.
name per se, like a Microsoft or anything like that. So I'm like, how many people are really gonna even latch onto this or find it? And everyone did, and it's booming. Like it's
So-
booming.
Business is booming. man.
Like all I can say is that AI is changing the world. We see it.
Yeah.
We are very at the infant stage of where AI is going. So
Figure it out.
you figure it out. Like you know where the money is going.
Yeah.
And you got to be smart. And we can talk offline. And I can give you guys, you know,
Yeah, we gotta keep that.
no problem.
We gotta keep that stuff.
Illuminati. You're
Maybe we do a
wild.
Patreon. Maybe we do a Patreon episode with
Yeah.
the gems, the real gems,
You got paid for the gym.
IQ.
so we can put it into our corp.
Yep. And then pay ourselves dividends.
Yeah.
And then put it to our RSP.
Yeah.
So that
Oh
we
my
can
gosh.
take it out for our down
See, we've
payments.
learned.
We've learned.
Yeah, we did.
Thank
like
you so
that.
much for coming through.
Yes,
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys.
We appreciate you.
Yeah,
it was
and
great.
we'll definitely call on you every once in a
Absolutely.
while
No
to come and help
problem.
us out. Yeah,
Manifestation.
no.
Where can we find it?
Yes, where can we find you on socials? For people
I
who
have a
more
company called
questions.
Wealth Building No Joke. I have a mortgage company called Taurus Mortgage Capital, and pretty easy to find me. And if you're looking for me, you can go to you guys. And
Yeah,
find me.
on our page as well.
Right. So, but I'd love to help you guys out. There's nothing that would make me more happier than turning this conversation here and help many people.
Definitely.
I need help right
Definitely.
now.
Definitely.
We all need help.
Yeah.
That's another week, another classic, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, man. You guys got anything popping this week? Anything?
No.
Yeah, that's right.
Actually.
Nah. We done. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm Marlon,
I'm Alicia.
I'm Duke.
and that was the Extra Gravy.
Skirt, skirt.
Bam, 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 bam.